Like, actors.
Good money.
What is up, everybody? We are back again. I have finally got my co-host on here. We are back. We are back. We are back. We got some interesting stuff to talk about, y'all. I got a few things that I got to address because a lot of stuff hasn't popped up on my For You page on Instagram that kind of, got me disturbed and got me a little, got me a little upset. So some things I gotta get off my chest real quick. I gotta, I gotta get ready for it. But
Okay.
with all being said, this is the Bathroom of Knowledge. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Ray Daniels, we back in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and turn this music on. Get right into it. All right. So, my man, how you been, bro? How you been, man?
Man, listen, work, but to be ready to get back, I was looking at the WNBA. A lot going on with the Caitlin and Angel Reese thing. I
How is
just
that
hate that
lately,
they.
man? Because I haven't been able to get to that lately. How is that going on? How is that?
So right now, you know, what I will say is this: the NBA, the WNBA, has transcended to a whole new level with the
Okay.
with the emergence of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Two rookies that come into the league to change the. I ain't gonna say they changed the culture, but they basically put the sauce back in the WNBA. People are watching. Fans' attendance has tripled and doubled in most cases. Asia Wilson is the league MVP, by far the best player in the league, hands down. The problem is she's been the plus player for the last couple of years, but again, because you got the new energy that's in the building with Caitlin coming into league and Angel Reese, it's raised the level up, which is a good thing. So with that being said, Asia Wilson, bar none, is going to be league MVP, and they probably gonna repeat again because they were last year's champ. Period. Far as the player productivity, Caitlin Clark is bussing the WNBA up. As far as points, this and that, and she's a rookie. So
Yeah.
she got assist records. She got, she doing her thing. So she's the catapult in that direction. Angel Reese doesn't score as much as she scored, but she's a whole different type of animal. Her thing is she's the female version of Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah, for sure. You could
You
definitely
understand what I'm saying?
don't get
So
me wrong. Like I've seen small highlight clips of these old generation talented NBA players like like Shaq, Kobe, MJ, like all the greats, and I've heard the conversation that injuries being compared
yeah.
to these old NBA players, and I'm like, she looks a
But when you
lot
say
like
old
Dennis
NBA
Rodman
players,
a little bit.
when you say old NBA players, just you have the older the older generation players, from the 2000s and
Yeah,
80s and stuff
but
like
like
that.
I'm talking about like the early back, like
Yeah, yeah. But
your
but
era
but
of basketball.
when you say Dennis Rodman, if you look up basketball and truth and knowledge, period, the best rebounder ever to play the game of
Hmm.
basketball was Dennis Rodman. And I don't give a fuck if you talk about old school, new school, LeBron, whatever. There's nobody that ever rebound the ball better than Dennis Rodman. Period. He was on the stretch with MJ when they won the championships. The man was averaging damn near 20 rebounds a game. A
Nah, that's
game.
crazy.
A game. Not just like I said, somebody want to fact check it, we can pull it up. But the man averaged almost 20 rebounds per game. Not points, rebounds. That's
Yeah,
one rebound at a time.
right.
Not
Because
a three, not a two, one. So he was out rebounding some people more than they scored points, and one basket is 2 points.
yeah, it
But
really is
anyway,
at this point, bro. It
yeah.
really
But
is.
anyway, the Angel Reese. What happens is now because you have haters, they
Hmm.
want to critique the game. So when I say critique the game, and I'm going to ask you a question because you're more new school guard, when they talk about LeBron James is your favorite player, right? Who's your favorite player?
Steph.
Give me your favorite player. LeBron, Curry, who?
Steph Curry.
All right. So now, what's Steph Curry's shooting percentage?
His shooting percentage is like a well right now is a 99%.
No, no, no. Shooting percentage overall. Like, is he 30? Is he 30% or 300%, 375? Nobody shoots 99%. I'm talking about for the game average.
Actually, to think about it, I was just looking at this too, and I brought this in my last episode. His range and his 3% is a 37.8.
There you go. So
It's a
now, thank you.
37.8.
So now, listen to this. Right now, let's go back to Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
They want to say that this because you have haters that
Mm-hmm.
instead of giving a girl her flowers, like they give Caitlin Clark her flowers, they want to say, "Oh, Angel Reese is stat padding,"
How?
because they're saying that hey, she plays in the paint, which means that you have the higher percentage of making a shot, and they're saying what? And now remember, this is the WNBA professional league where you
Mm-hmm.
have players guarding each other. So when they say Angel Reese is stat padding, they're saying she will grab a rebound, right, underneath the basket, shoot the ball up, and miss on purpose to get her own rebound to add to the stats.
Right.
But my thing is, why would you say that when there's a person guarding her? Sometimes two in the paint. So you're telling me that I'm stat padding, out hustling two other people in most cases, and another defender trying to stop me from making a basket. So I'm just throwing the ball up there and get my own rebound, throw the ball up there, get my own rebound three, four times on purpose, and the other person is just allowing me to do that. Trash.
Who even said
For
that
all
though?
for
'Cause
all the people
that's
out
dumb.
here on the stream, if they believe that Angel Reese is stat padding in a professional NBA game, women or not, that if I shoot the ball and get my own rebound and there's another defender trying to defend me from scoring, that I'm just doing it on purpose and stat padding. That's some bullshit. So what they're saying now is they're saying she's stat padding one because Angel Reese now has 24 double doubles. Double doubles,
We've had
points
NBA
and
players.
rebounds. She has almost 30 games where she's averaged over 10 rebounds a game. She leads the entire WNBA as a rookie with rebounding. She has set the NBA record with over 405 rebounds for the season, and we still have a few games left.
And that's that
And a
passing.
rookie. And a rookie. So mind that. So now what they're saying is she's stat padding with a defender checking her, trying to stop her from scoring to add to her rebounds because they hating. Then they're saying that hey, which I bring to you about the Steph Curry thing, that they saying that she's a awful player and she can't and her shooting and they saying that they saying that her shooting percentage is terrible. Like so when my thing is when you talk about Steph Curry and you say, hey, Steph Curry can make the shots, he's a three-point player, he's one of the best shooters in the league. Who the fuck talks about his shooting percentage?
Nobody does. Cause
So why
like
you understand what I'm saying? So now they're saying that
right.
not only Angel Reese is stat padding, but her shooting percentage is like she should be not even playing in the league. And I'm telling
That-
them, like, even all the great players, LeBron, anybody that you talk about that score the ball and does great things on the basketball, nobody gives a fuck about shooting percentage. When Kobe
I'm gonna
scored
say
81
this.
points,
Yeah. Cause
nobody cares about the shooting percentage.
yeah. Cause I'm gonna say this. Not entirely is that true. Because at the end of the day, when when you're making a certain conversation about a player and you're bringing stats, shooting percentage does not matter at this point because not every single player relies on shooting percentage. They don't rely on that too well because certain players have their own physical built and they're more used for a better position when they're playing the game. Like Andrew Reese, you can't compare. Like you can't compare. Like let's say if they was compare Curry's shooting to her shooting, it doesn't matter. Like because
and look what
that
you said, Amos. You just told me in the beginning of this podcast when I asked you, which is probably one of the best shooters to ever play the game. You said his
mhm,
shooting percentage is point 37 for 375%. What did you say it was? 37%. So
thirty-seven
that makes
point
he
eight.
makes a little better than every three. He makes a third of every shot. Every three shots, he at least makes
Yeah,
one.
because Curry is not gonna hit every single shot. He can't. That I mean, because some of his shots are gonna get off, but
Yeah.
half his shots are not going to get off because the amount of coverage he's getting.
So now listen to this. There's the what people on the internet trolls or whatever, they want to say that, oh, so this is like some of their argument that her shooting percentage should be way higher because she's closer to the basket. Now, in reality,
Mhm.
you should have a higher percentage of making that shot because you are closer to the basket. But that's only in hindsight if there's no defender stopping you.
Yeah, because I watched Andrew Reese go up against Adrian Wilson.
Brittany Griner is one of the big. If you heard of Brittany Griner, if you don't look her up, Brittany
Yeah, I
Griner
know she is.
won at Baylor, this and that, and she was went overseas, got arrested, all that stuff. But Brittany Griner, long story short, is 6'10",
Mm-hmm.
6'10". Angel Reese is 6'2",
Ooh, 6'2".
and grabbed 20 boards on Griner, checking her. Fact check it.
Just wait, hold on, bro. 6'10", a 6'2"
Listen to what
center,
I'm trying to tell.
bro. She is a center. And she's 6'2".
Hold on, hold on,
Hey, bro. All I
hold
gotta
on,
say
hold on.
is, all I gotta say is that y'all gotta put some respect on Angel Reese, bro. All this hate talk, all this none of that, bro. All that does not matter. Like I, I have a discreet on that overall because all the criticism and all the hatred talk has to stop. You're just mad because Angel Reese is like when you're saying that she's in the paint and she's supposed to have a higher percentage when she's at the back of when she's at the basket. Of course, she's under the rim. She's supposed to have a higher percentage when she's under there because it's the easy bucket. But like my co-host said, unless there's a defender on you, it's an easy bucket no matter what. But it's insane grabbing a board over Brittany Griner, who is 6'10". She is 6'2" in a center. 6'2" in the center. Like that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So I don't know what happened. Um, hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. So I'm gonna keep talking about this. Um, how I feel about certain comments to these NBA players and WNBA players, all these haters, this and that. Like, what is it going to take for y'all to realize that? Actually, not. I think I just lost train of thought what I was gonna say because I don't want to get into what I want to talk about because I do have a conversation that I want to bring up, but it's something related to this conversation that we were just having, and I don't want to bring it up. But but what I do, but what I do want to bring up is, oh my gosh, hold on, bruh. Sorry, y'all. So there's some things that I do wanna discuss with you guys, and this has to do with um I just dang. Hold on, give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Mm, is that at the top of my head? Hold on, guys. I want to wait till my co-host get back in here because I wanna discuss this. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, this is what I wanted to say, and this is regarding LeBron James' son. Um, Bronny James. This was like a few days ago. Not like it's like a few weeks ago. He made a comment saying that he can guard Luka and that Luka is slow and that I can guard him very well. One thing you gotta understand, Bronny, is that Luka plays at a different style and a different way, not in a different pace when it comes to playing and playing the game. Your father has played in different ways and used different styles in the game for 21 years. He's in year 22. He's been in the league for 21 years and he has changed his pace every single year. Whether whether it's a fast pace, a slow pace, medium pace, a more of a better smart IQ pace, like each player plays different. So when you say you can lock up Luca, you're not no, because Luca, for one thing, Luca's taller than you. All right, LeBron, you're like 6'1", 6'2". You're not even that tall. There's gonna be point guards that are mad taller than you. Curry is taller than you. Luka is by far taller than you. He's gonna shoot over you no matter what. For one thing, you're not gonna guard him 1-on-1. Cause once he gets you on the ISO, you're cooked. You're cooked. He will literally get you away from everybody else, take you up, hit you with the between tween, you know what I'm saying, get you a little crossover, hit you a little step back, a little harder step back, and just shoot it over you. You feel me? So it's like, why would you consider on guarding Luca? Out of all people, the one person you want to start off is the ones like Trey Young. You want to start off with Trey, Drew Holiday. You want to start off with those. I think my players who that he really can guard very well will have to be, I would say, Drew Holiday. Uh, well, I mean, like that's if he gets his playing time, but he can't really guard anybody in this league overall. But I say Trey probably would be more. He could try to stop because he doesn't have any moves except for the nutmeg. For those who don't know what nutmeg is where you throw the ball in the air and it hits the rim. Hold on, y'all. All right. Wait till he get here. But yeah, guys. So I, just the whole Bronny James situation. He's barely gonna get any minutes, to be honest. I think what they're gonna do is that they're probably gonna have him play towards the ending of the quarter, like for like for like a few seconds, and then see how he does. I don't know, but we'll definitely see how it goes. But as far as the whole situation, we think he can lock up Luka. You can't, bro. Everybody plays slow in the league. Everybody plays at a different pace when it comes to playing in the NBA, bro. You're quick with your hands. I see that. You're quick with it, but these NBA players have to have good IQ, and they played against defenders who have quicker hands than you, bro. So you gotta be smart on what you say as far as you think you can take on everybody in the league. Nah, bro. You ain't you ain't ready yet, bro. You ain't ready for the league yet, bro. He's league material, but you just not ready to guard these NBA players, bro. You're not ready for that. Nah. But uh waiting for him to get back on. I don't know if he got it or not. All right, so me and my co-hosts are gonna finish the conversation we were having, so we're waiting for him to get back on. Just give it a minute, y'all. Just give it a minute. What a little delay. Oy. There you go.
The signal, whatever, jumped out like connectivity. But I'm back now.
Uh,
Let me
all
know when
right.
you're ready.
So
Pick back up.
so I was telling him about the whole situation. That this may be some old news or not, but I brought up the state of where Brown thinks he can take on any NBA player, and the player he think that he can lock up is Luka. And I was saying that, my boy, you can't lock up Luka because
Who?
because
Wait.
Bronny
Who said this? Ronnie
Bronny
James,
yeah
who's
because
not played
because
one. Who's not played one game yet.
Bronny has seen how Luka plays on TV. Like his Luka plays a little bit of slow, but
Uh-huh.
the way how Luka plays, he has good IQ, and the thing about Luka is he can change his pace at any time. Luka starts off slow either way.
Where did he
So
say this on a podcast or something?
no, it was like a little small private interview. So like most of these
Okay.
reporters do private interviews with these rookies,
Uh-huh.
and I guess somebody asked him like who will he guard and like who he beat in the NBA, and I guess he said
Okay.
look up the shark because
So,
look at
for all of our young viewers, first of all, there's no goddamn way.
he can't stop Luka, bro. I'm know that for sure. He
There's
hasn't
no
played one
goddamn
game yet.
way.
This man saying he could beat Luka,
Listen to me.
bro.
There's no goddamn way. Excuse the French. that Bronny will ever lock up Luka. He too big.
Yo.
You're talking
And on
about
top
somebody
of
who
it,
is
Bronny's
probably
like
one of the
6'2", 6'1".
he's one of the top three scorers in the league right now. Period.
Right.
Bronny, you're 5'6". How tall is Bronny? 6'1"?
He he's 6'1",
5'11" on a good day? On a
but
bad
but
day?
but now I'm seeing that he's like 6'2" now. Now I'm saying he's 6'2". According to the internet, he's saying he's 6'2". He's originally
Listen,
6'1", but now they're saying he's 6'2". So I don't
listen,
believe his height.
people always pad the stats, bruh.
That's what I'm saying. But think about it. Like if you think you can lock up Luca, you're gonna have a long time talk with your dad because your dad knows how to guard Luca. But it's really it's a
And LeBron
challenge.
can't even stop Luka on
It's
every certain
right.
on
That's
most
what I'm
of the time.
saying. That whoever's guarding Luca, it's a it's a challenge. You
But yes,
like you got to figure him
LeBron
out.
can. LeBron has trouble. No, listen. No, everyone in the league has trouble. So what you
Right.
think? So what do you think? Bronny out of nowhere, NBA wet ears, haven't even scored a bucket yet. Not even got time yet to get on the court, and you're talking about you're gonna grab guard Luca,
You
one of
won't
the
have
premier
time
players
because
in the league.
D'Lo is the starting point guard. You won't even
Hey,
get
hey,
time.
hey, hey, Amos, what they say? Stop the cat.
Nah, for real, stop the cap,
Stop the
bro. Cause
cat,
like literally, you won't get any minutes. Cause
bro.
D'Lo is starting.
You can't. No, no, it ain't even about starting. If they put him in the game and he guarded Luca, that's they're gonna give the ball to Luca every play and do a
Right,
clear.
because they know that for one thing, Bronny is small. He's not that strong. So it's like Luca's stronger than him.
Exactly. So then enough said. Luca could put him in the paint every play. Bronny can check him out at the three, and he's still gonna have trouble.
He right. Just like
So
just like anybody who faces your dad has trouble. Faces
yeah.
Tatum has
And his
trouble.
dad is
Curry.
LeBron is 6 what, 7? 6'9"?
LeBron LeBron 6'8".
There you go, 6'8". And you're 6 foot and LeBron has trouble. And you're not even nowhere near the structure as your dad.
Literally, this man Luka can have a 7 foot center guard him. He's shooting over that.
Yeah.
This man,
I'm going on the record to say Dallas makes it to the NBA finals this year. On
they
record
will.
right now.
I'm hey,
With the
listen,
with the addition of Klay Thompson.
of course, because Clay Thompson, like literally, you think about it, his percentage is lower than Curry's because he only takes about a small amount of shots as Curry does. So his
Curry, and
percentage
then you
is
gotta remember
lower.
Curry took more shots than he did on that team anyway.
Right.
So
So
now he's going to get more touches. He's going to get more shots this year because at the end of the day, Luka is the number one person who takes the most shot on that team, and then the second person would be Kyrie. And then here you go. Kyrie's still getting older, so now Kyrie can be a little bit more rested, and you can give Clay some of that work. So I think Clay will move to the as far as free throw. I mean, as far as shooting attempts, will become the number two shooter on that team over
right
jumping Curry. I mean,
because
not Curry over Kyrie.
right, because they got Luca at the no. So Luca Kyrie will either play the one or two, and then Clay will play the three because they got Clay as a small forward because he's 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
He's six
Yeah,
six, and that's a great height advantage too. So you got more height advantage and more shooters.
yeah.
But the thing is, you requiring Clay Thompson that gives you more of a space and more of assistance. So let's say if Kyrie's having an off day, Clay is never having an off day. That drink is automatic jumper. So like that drink is going in no matter what. So
It is a
so
matter
so
of
it's
him getting more. When you're a shooter, it's a matter of just getting hot. So I
right.
so I tell people every time that you're a shooter, you need to get a lot of good shots in pregame, which I'm sure they do. But in the rhythm of the game, it's very important to get your shooters started early. So that's where you
Yeah.
have like a Luka and a Kyrie and this is how you could tell if they're going to be off or not because most of the time, if you don't take no shots in the first quarter, then that could be sometimes a disaster because that means now it's taking you longer to get in your rhythm.
Right.
So to me, in this case, you know, you should automatically push for Kyrie to get at least two J's, two jumpers, not to the basket, because to the basket is how you get back in because you get on a free throw. But I'm talking two jumpers. Kyrie should have at least two jumpers in the first quarter of every game. Clay need about three, and then Luka needs about three. So together, that's collectively 8 jump shots, whether it's a three ball or not. You know, unfortunately, the mid-range game has died because of the new era kids. They either want to play Euro ball, they either shooting a three or they going to the basket. So the art of the mid-range game has been lost. I.e., Tim
Hold on,
Duncan.
because because I'm gonna say this too. I don't think it died down too much because there is a player that that has fell in love with the mid range shot, and that's DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is the only player specifically from the 2010 who is the only player who is really good at the mid range. He can't be guarded at the mid range. Any shot he puts
Yeah.
has always been in the mid range. So it's like he's a
And I
player.
like DeMar DeRozan. I like him. But okay, so let me ask you this. Who else in the
Nobody.
modern NBA has a serious mid-range game?
Nobody.
And that's
Anybody
sad, but that's
besides
sad though.
DeMar,
But
nobody
just
has
think
a
of that.
good mid
That's
range.
sad. Either everybody want to score points in the paint or they want to go way to the three.
Exactly. But literally, if you shut down, okay, let's say this, LeBron. If you shut down the three from him, he will take you to the paint and he will literally hit every mid shot over you. But LeBron doesn't hit a lot of mid shots at all. I mean, he'll
Right.
hit them, but like half percent of his shots are either from the free throw, from the mid, from the
Okay.
three.
So let me ask you this. Let me tell you what a traditional mid-range game would be. So from the basket to the foul line is what, 20 feet,
Mhm.
23 feet? Was it
Yeah.
20 feet or whatever from the basket? So if this is the court, right? So if this is the court, return. If this is the court here, right? And this is the free throw, right? If this is the free throw, and then you go to the court this way, if you go this way, if you go this way out from the free throw around, it's still 20 feet. So if you go 20 feet from the top, left or right, it's still a free throw shot. So if you have people shooting 80% or better from the free throw line, why don't you have a mid-range game then? Because you're 80% from that marker. And the foul line, from the foul line to the three-pointer is not past the three, but from the foul line to the three-point line is the mid-range game. So if you take the foul line and you go symmetrically around the basketball court, from the hoop 20 feet out to the left, 20 feet out to the right, 20 feet out to the front is all mid-range games. So if you have players, now go look at your and this is just for food for thought. If you look at everybody in the league now whose free throw percentage is 80% or better, why don't you have a mid-range game?
That is true. That is true. And most NBA players do score from the mid sometimes, but if you have that good of a high percentage shooting from there, why don't you have a mid game shot?
Thank you. That's why I don't, because you know why?
Why don't
They
you?
suck. They sucking because they like, hey, I
Why would
want
you want to
all the
settle for
money,
a
all
three?
the 3-point money. They want all the 3-point money, or they say, well, you know what? If I have a chance to get to the rack, I'm gonna try to get a bucket and hope I can draw a foul. The problem with that is some of these players are so skilled and long now, i.e., what's the boy from Boston? 6'10", 6'11", the white boy. You got some of these dudes that's in there that's so freaking tall that no matter what you're going, and they teach them good D, put your hands straight up and all that. So you're not gonna get that call every time. And my thing
Yeah.
is, if I drive you, you know who does it really well? Westbrook. If you drive to the basket and stop on a dime, Allen Iverson, and pull up, there's nobody to get in your face because you can't stop nobody going downhill.
Right. And to be honest, and you just mentioned Westbrook too, but Westbrook has a good mid range too, back in
Because
the early two
Westbrook will take you
tens.
off the dribble and then he will pull up. Do pull up. Do pull up. Once you pull up, and it ain't that many. There is some good defenders who can do that, but at the end of the day, most of the defenders will lay off of you because they're trying to, look for the weak side help and get the help in the paint.
Right.
So
And think
so
about it
people
like,
people lose that. Like, one of the other, what's another very good player that was mid range? Tim Duncan.
oh yeah, I did
Tim
see him do a
Duncan would
lot of
take his
mid range
post you,
shots.
and then he would step out of the paint. And now you don't know if I'm gonna take you in or out, and he'll give you a jab fake. That's where the jab fake come in
Now,
and
what
pull
was
up,
his nickname? His nickname was Mr. Fundamental.
Mr. Fundamentals.
Mr.
But just
Fundamental.
think
This man
about it.
used to hit
Remember,
every bank
when when
shot.
you when you when you get a chance to look at the stats again, when you just flowing through your notes, and it's for our
Yeah,
for
for
our
sure.
audience base, go look up most of the current players who got minutes. We talking about starters. Let's go with the starters. Look at all the starters on all the teams who's averaging 80% or better from the free throw. And then why don't they have a mid-range game? Because they damn sure can shoot at a high clip. Some of them are 90% free throw shooters. And the free throw is the start of the mid-range game.
I'm gonna be honest too, because and Tim Duncan is a valid point to bring up too, because we all know Tim Duncan was a phenomenal mid range shooter and was hard to guard, especially too because of his height. And on top of that, he was that anytime he got the ball in his hands, it's like, what are you gonna do now? It's like, you know, but im- imagine Tim Duncan in this era right now. Nobody is guarding him at the mid range, because you know why?
Well,
Because
listen,
they're gonna struggle.
don't do that, because if Tim Duncan played right now for the Spurs, they would have 16 more championships.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Imagine Tim Duncan in this era right now. There's no way anybody is guarding this man, bro. Because you know why? It's gonna be him, Wemby, Chris Paul, and everybody else,
And,
bro.
and just think about it. He's going to get more calls in this era than he did in that era.
He is gonna get more calls because you know why? That
He's
that
going to get more calls. The game is more not as they don't let it be as more physical then because again, marketing, and we understand we rather have a healthy person at his highest show off his showcase than allowing somebody to beat up on him. So I get it why the NBA got away from that a little bit, but at the end of the day, it made the game soft, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I don't like that we have players this at this high of a skill. Like, I will admit, the one thing I will admit to you, from an old school to a new school, the new school players, in my opinion, are more skilled than the old school players. They've been in the gym more, they got more training, they got this and that, and I get it. And not to take away from the old school, because the old school had dogs. Don't get it twisted, But at the end of the day, if you're a dog, you're a dog. You're not, you're not. But what I say is the fundamentals of the game overall, player to player, is way more now, in my opinion, than before. And with that being said, if the fundamentals are more being taught now, then where the hell did the mid range game go?
right.
And you more fundamental. Now, what I will tell you is I don't like in this era is they dribble too fucking much.
Edwards, Kyrie,
Dribble, what are you
Luka,
doing? Get off the ball,
Curry,
pass, swing. What's faster? You dribbling or you passing?
passing. 'Cause look. Think about it. Think about it. So if you're at the end of the court, once somebody misses, you palm the ball. You're sprinting. You gotta analyze who was gonna get to the basket first. Once you see a clear open, your best bet is to get the ball moving. So you gotta pass the ball up to get the ball moving, and whoever's open, give him the ball right away and score a bucket. Why would you want to settle for dribbling? Because that's gonna give you a loss of getting a steal. That's why all
And,
these NBA
and
players are getting so much
that,
steals.
the NBA shot clock is 24 seconds, right?
Right.
So now let's go to Ant Edwards, right? Great
Hmm.
player, not disrespecting the man or nothing like that.
Right.
But every time he touched the ball, he has to at least dribble 6 times. He wasted 6 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, he is dribbling 6 times, and he's done that like
And then
literally.
and
He's
six
been
times,
doing
and you're
that
not even
for
shooting. I've
years.
seen him dribble 6 times, five, six, and I'm just saying six is just a roundabout number. It might not be exactly every time, but the whole point is he's dribbling 4 to 6, 7 times sometimes, and then get off the ball. What are you doing? If you dribble 5 times, you should be to the rack.
Right.
with a shot,
Right.
hit or
But
miss.
the thing is, the reason why he's doing that dribbling is because he can't get nowhere.
Get off the ball.
That's what. But he's not, because he thinks he's the one man army. Literally, he thinks he's all that. He
Get
literally
off
said
the
it in the
ball.
Olympics. He said it in Paris. He said, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm the number one option." Bro, you got carried. You got carried by Curry and LeBron and KD, bro. What do you
You're
mean
not
he's
the
the number
number one
one
option.
option?
You're number one option on your team, maybe, but not in the. That's a whole nother
You
conversation.
were averaging 10 points a game. You only had
The number
26
one
points at
options on
one
that team
time.
was LeBron, Curry. They didn't even make Tatum a number one option. I mean, Tatum to me is better than Ant. Come on, Ant. And Tatum didn't even hoop.
Tatum didn't hoop at all, bro. The man, literally, we just talked about this too. Tatum was only available because Katie was not playing. Once Katie was playing, Tatum didn't get a lot of minutes because there
And
was
Ant got
Shaq
more
going.
burn than Tatum, and I don't know why, but
Yeah,
that's a whole nother story.
right. That's
Mister,
something
I'm
that,
the
that
number
that
one
we still don't
option.
know to this day.
Dribble the ball 6 times, and then you figure out, oh, I can't get a basket. Let me get off the ball.
This man
No,
got
the shot
robbed so
clock
many
is at
times
3 now.
by him dribbling so much.
Listen, let me tell you, and remember we talked about this the last time, and I haven't been on here, so I do apologize. You know who was very keen about getting off the ball, and this goes pre-Magic, and might be this way before y'all. The first teams that I remember when I was growing up, little young, that I seen move the ball very well, and if you go look them up, Boston Celtics with Havlicek and Bill Russell.
Mm.
They played where you got the ball, you outlet the ball up the court, boom, 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 layup. Then when you move to a little bit more modern era, which would have been the 80s Lakers,
Right,
Showtime. And we talked about Showtime. If you look up Lakers and the word Showtime, Magic was the one who brought Showtime to the NBA. And what happened was, and this was in an era when defense, you can beat the shit out of people. Remember, the Jordan rule was put in because Jordan got beat up so bad that the NBA had to say, okay, we got to do something about this. That's when the flagrant fouls came in. There was no flagrant fouls before. You could have a hard foul and it turned to a fight and people ejected each other, but there's no such thing as a flagrant one or two. Not back in the old day. A foul was a foul. So they said, if Aramis, you can come in this paint. See, back then they would say, hey, never let nobody get a shot in the paint because that's the shortest point that's the easiest way to get a basket is in the paint, right? So
right,
what happened was they said, okay, the coaches would tell you, if anybody come in the paint and score, that's on you. At the end of the day, they would say, I don't give a fuck how hard you foul them, clothesline them, grab them with 2 hands and wrap him up. Whatever you do not let him get an and one. And then that's how the Jordan thing came out because anybody would come into the space, especially Jordan. If you go back and look at the days when they had Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, Joe Sally, all of them players, they called them the bad boys because at the end of the day, Rick Mahorn and them boys would say, hey, you come down here, oh, you going to feel it. Ain't gonna be no and one. Oh, no, nigga, smash. Get your ass up out of here and go get them 2 free
dang.
throws.
Hey, that's
That's how it
crazy,
was
man.
back in the day. So what happened was when that happened, Magic came into the league and then they said, okay, back then, if an NBA team scored more than 100 points, that was phenomenal because the games averaged about 80, 90 points a game with that kind
Right.
of defense. The Lakers were the first team to average over 100 points in that era where you could kill people in the paint. And you know how they did it?
Mm.
Get off the ball. Like you said, the rebound come off the rebound, you turn around and you throwing it up the court. 2, 3 passes layup. 2, 3 passes layup.
Right.
The only person that I could see get up the court, and he was 6'10", 6'11", Magic Johnson. You know how many dribbles Magic Johnson took to get from one end of the court to the other end of the court? 5, 4 dribbles.
That's
And you
crazy.
got Ant getting the ball in a half court offense taking 4. When you could take Magic Johnson or somebody like that because he was so big, 6'11" guard running full speed down the court, that's 4 dribbles. And he's all the way at the other end of the court in 4 dribbles without a pass.
That's crazy.
So that's what I try to tell you. Back then, they taught us get off the ball because what you know why? Because you didn't want your defense to set up in the paint. Because once they set up in the paint, you had to rely on what? Your jump shot. And they either had to be the 3 ball or mid range because there was absolutely no getting into the paint because people would camp out. That's why the NBA said you can't play zone. In college, you could play zone. So imagine you playing zone and anybody coming to the paint, the coach say, I don't give a fuck about none of that. We'll guard from the inside out. Remember when you play deep, you play basketball. If you're in the zone, you got to close out to the shooter. Because where you didn't get points up in the paint.
Yeah. Always,
So
yeah, because that's yeah. I mean,
that's how the
like,
game goes. So with that being said, when the defense transitioning from defense to offense, offense to defense, if I can push the ball up the court, get off the ball, defense can't come down to set up to clog the paint up.
right.
There you go. So this is how transition basketball came. You get off the ball, push the ball up the court, and then and just look at every All-Star game. When do you ever see them dribbling the ball? The ball is always like this up the court. And they do that because they want to be able to fans to have advantage to say, hey, to see everybody play and score the ball because the new era, and they got to that in the old era. I don't want to make it like it's only a new era thing because in the old era too, we was like, listen, we want to see Jordan dunk, we want to see LeBron dunk, we want to see Kobe dunk, we want to see Curry hit that 3, Magic hit the 3, you know, whoever else hit the 3 ball, because they want to see the offensive part of the game and they wanted you not to see so much of the defense. But remember, we play basketball. What wins championships? Defense.
Defense, buddy.
Gotta be
Yeah.
able to stop somebody.
Right, because any team that has ever been in the finals has always won off of defense. Like, like I think like I can name a couple of teams that has used defense to win the game, like Miami, uh
Yep.
for you, Chicago,
Yep.
uh Kobe, Lakers, you, Magic, like like it's
Yep.
like
You
they're
gotta,
like
so listen, at the end of the day, you can have the top offensive teams get there, but at the
but
end
the
of the
defense
day,
matters the most.
yeah, because you gotta remember in an NBA game, I'm not gonna stop you every play, but when it comes down to crucial possessions,
Oh yeah, man.
crucial.
I'm locking you up either way, man. I'm trying to win this game.
Yeah, it's crucial. Like fuck all of that shit there. Let's lock in, and we need to get 2 stops to win the game.
Yeah, cause at the end of the day, it's like okay, what I'm saying, I'm gonna give you the flowers. You had like a cool 30, 40 plus game. It's tied game. Last minute, you got like a few minutes. You know what? It's fourth quarter. All right, now I gotta lock you up because it's the last minute of the game, and I want to win. I don't care how
Yeah.
many points you got. I don't care how many assists or steals you got. What matters is that time clock ticking and hit zero, and I locked you up. I
Mm-hmm.
still won because you know what? My defense suppressed your offense,
Mm-hmm.
and you couldn't get nowhere, so you lost.
All right.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't come out here and say, "Oh, I mean, hey, we did everything we could, but we couldn't do anything." Well, it's because you couldn't do anything because our defense
Lock
was
you.
outmatching your offense, so you couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
like defense is key at the end of the point. It doesn't matter if it's finals, playoffs, regular season. If it's the last quarter of the game, you gotta play to your hardest, make sure and use defense.
We need some defenders,
Right.
and that's when. So then now just think about it. With what you just said. Now just think about what you just said, and I go back to the old school ball. 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Hmm.
In the 70s, 80s, 90s, like you said, now we into the fourth quarter. Let's get real. So now just
Right.
think about it. If they was already playing so aggressively strong defense going into the game, where like you said, when back in the day you could clothesline a person coming into the game, that not really, not literally, but you know what I'm saying, you could hard foul them and you wasn't gonna get ejected. What do you think the toll on that person's body was, i.e. Jordan, Larry Bird, whoever you are, going into that fourth quarter and you've been getting beat up all fucking game. Now you want me to turn it up a notch. Look
Mm.
how much harder it was for you because your body has taken a toll to this point. And that's when they used to say strength and conditioning came into a big factor. Now that's why you see as the newer kids, they push strength and conditioning so point because they say, hey, you got to be able to endure the game no matter what happens. When we get to showtime and money possessions, we need you to be at your best within whatever damage or hydration issues or whatever that you sustain during the game to get to this point. We still need you to uplift and be at the next level. Now,
Right.
that's the difference between me and you as a regular athlete, and then you have a world superior athlete like a LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. These dudes is in top shape because they can withstand that kind of defensive and beating and toll on their body and still rise to the occasion with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and the ball is in your hand and I need this bucket. As a matter of fact, I might need you to close out the last 5 minutes of the game.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how yeah. And to think about it too, like you brought up Kobe and LeBron, like yeah, those two were gym rats and they were always in the gym and they always found ways to improve their game and find ways to make them better so that when it comes to the real game, they know how to, they know how to coordinate and do a lot more better and improve better. So, with LeBron, it's like you can pull on him, smack him all that. He not going like he not going to entertain that because it's like, bro, like that that's nothing. 'Cause you can't stop LeBron nor could you stop Kobe. Like literally,
No,
like
those cats are in the best shape ever. Like their
right,
shape is like, man, it's unreal. The kind of
right,
shape those dudes is in. Physically, mentally, because you gotta have mental and physical. But in physical shape, there's nobody stronger and more shape than those top athletes in that echelon. Because you can do all of that, like you said.
right.
And at the end of the day, when it come down to the fourth quarter, I'm still rising above and ain't lost the beat.
Exactly. So I mean, yeah, I mean like. I mean, I, I have watched LeBron for years, but I didn't get a chance to watch him when he first because I was still a little kid when he
Hmm.
was playing for with the Cavs. But
Hmm.
I did see a glimpse of him playing just almost half percent of his time in Cleveland, and then when he got traded to Miami, that was when I started seeing him for real playing and winning the chips and then going to Cleveland, then him,
Hmm.
then him losing and him winning the next following year. It's like
Yeah.
when you watch him and you look how he take care of his body throughout the years,
Hmm.
he hasn't had no pains, no nothing. That all
Yeah.
has to do with taking care of your body and how you manage it and how you
Right.
how you work on
Now,
it.
now, now I dare hear the rumor that says that LeBron spent $1 million on his body every year.
Spending $1 million on your body,
Far as like trainers and different things and look at I've heard this. They said that LeBron invests over $1 million a year so that he can remain in the top shape that he's in. And right now he's 40 and still and in better shape than 90% of the league.
I mean,
40.
40, and you're trying to stay in shape to
Bro,
literally.
listen. You name now? Am I going on the record, Amos? You let me know. Am I misspeaking to say LeBron James right now at 40 is in better shape than 90% of the league? Am I overstepping there, or what do you? How do you feel about that statement?
No, because I mean, like we've noticed how LeBron has been staying fit for 21 plus years, and he's entering his 22 season, and just just regardless of him, you know, using that much money to invest in trainers to keep his body, and I can confirm the rumors because he's been going to certain gyms, training his body, making sure that he's fit, he's okay, stretching, exercising, all that. And seeing a grown man at the age of 40 playing like he's 25, playing like he's still in his prime is it's very insane because you don't see a lot of NBA players that old still playing and their bodies in shape. You don't see a lot of
40.
that.
Listen, LeBron looked like he could play another 5 years in the league.
That's what I'm saying. If you're investing a
At this
million
rate now, barring
dollars,
any injuries, if you get an injury, that's different. I'm saying right now, I think he can play based on him barring injury 5 more years.
that's what I'm
That puts him at
saying.
45, bruh.
But I think that like mentally he can still keep up with the league. But I think that I think he's at this point where he's done everything and it's like what is else to do in this league? I think he's out. I think because he because they questioned him after the Lakers game, how many years are you gonna have in this league? So he doesn't know how long he has
You
until
don't
he
want me to tell
has to
you?
retire.
You want me to answer that? I'm going to tell you the answer that I believe it is. And I got two questions for you. And I'm going to mess you up on, I'm going to say this one first, but I'm going to mess you up on the last one. I
Okay.
think LeBron right now has nothing else to play for but one thing. And watch what's going to happen. He's already did the first half. He got Bronny James to the Laker. So
Hmm.
he's going to play with his first son. And then his other son, Bryce, is 2 more years out. Bryce will be coming into the league in 2 years. And I promise you, if LeBron ain't
2028.
got anything to do with it, Bryce is going to come out and play for the Lakers. And then they're going to have LeBron will play 3 more years just to be able to say he played with his sons, both his sons, at the highest level. That's the only thing I think that he have to put to prove. So what do you think of that? What's your comments on that? Oh, he'll be right back. Give him a second. But anyway, fans, listen, I think that, LeBron definitely only has one narrative to push right now, and that's him staying in the league, regardless if he win another championship or not. That's great. That's not important, so much important, even though every player wants to win as much as you can. He's not chasing the Jordan legacy. I want to win 6 chips and all of that. He's not pushing that no more. But I think that he wants to stay in the league 2 or 3 more years just so he can say that I played with Bronny and Bryce. And
Well,
I would tell you don't bet no money against it that Bryce doesn't end up being a Laker too.
well, I mean, as far as Bryce, yes, because like I think the year he's predicted to come in because he's still in high school right now. I think the year
Mm-hmm.
he's supposed to be predicted to come in was either 2027 or 2028. He's supposed to come into the league.
Mm-hmm.
But regarding LeBron stay that long, that's if we like that. I mean, there's there's a good chance LeBron might stay in this league until Bryce comes. If he does stay in this league until 2028 for when Bryce comes in, then okay, cool. Then that's when you can play another good two more years and be like, hey, I'm gonna retire, but I was good. I'm grateful that I got to play with my boy with my sons Bronny and Bryce. This
Which
is
has never
better.
been done. Never been done.
Right. It's never been done. So it's like you should.
He's
If you
already made
can't play in
history.
two
When
years,
when the NBA season starts, there's going to be history period. And if he can make it to get Bryce, that'll be history times two, because you'll have an NBA player that played on the same team with both his sons. That's two times history, because he's already going to make one time history as soon as the tip off starts for the season.
Right.
Now I'm gonna throw you off on this one. Now, with that being said, what did you say? What did you say, Aramis? You said it's unreal how LeBron is in this kind of shape at 40, right? You agree to
Right.
that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is why, and now I'm gonna mess you up. This is why I tell you that my conspiracy theory is: what drug is you taking, LeBron? I need some of that. What steroids is you taking,
Bro,
bro?
this man ain't
I
taking
need
no
some of that.
steroids, but that man fit. That man out here, that boy fit in that gym, bro. He been in that gym, man. He ain't fit. Nah, he
Yo,
ain't taking nothing,
yo,
bro.
the man is it's juicing, bro. He's gotta be
Yo, he ain't juicing,
juicing.
ain't on nothing, dog. Nah. The man's consistently
The
in the
man,
gym.
listen, he's 40, bro. He's
I
out running.
know. How old was
Yo,
Kobe? Kobe was still in the
man,
league until like the age of what?
30s, bro. 38,
Exactly. And
30s. LeBron,
imagine Kobe in his 40s right now, still
LeBron,
playing the
LeBron
league.
is LeBron is taking it and make him look like a baby. Yeah,
Baby
maybe not a
anybody in the
baby.
league, bro.
Maybe
Get the
not a
ice
baby.
top
But
kiss, man.
wait,
You're
wait.
50 right now.
Let me not disrespect Ant, because Ant is a great, tremendous, possibly Hall of Famer if he keep it up. But even with him at a young 22, 21, LeBron is putting him in his place at 40.
He putting
Stop.
everybody in his place.
What are you juicing on, LeBron? Who are
Bro,
you
this man
getting it
juicing on
from?
nothing, dog. What do you mean? He ain't juicing on nothing, bro. Literally, this
Yo,
man, like,
comment,
okay.
comment, post on the stat. Hey, let our viewers know. Please let me know if you have any intel on LeBron juicing.
Yeah,
Please
nah,
put it
I
in the
gotta hear
comments.
about cause they definitely gotta comment below, be like, yo, is this man juicing or is he not? Put a rate. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this into YouTube Shorts, but hey, yo, rate. Is LeBron juicing or is he not? I better see.
So he's 40 at the top. Listen, he's running circles around 25-year-olds in the league. This is the highest level of the world.
Right.
And there's no player that's
But
ever
he's
played the
not juicing
game
though.
at, first of all, if you could look it up, Aramis, how many players played at the age 40 or more in the NBA to start with? And then that's one feat to say that you played in the NBA at 40 years old or more. I know one player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, did it. He's one of them. I don't know. I have to look it up. I know for sure Kareem played, and Kareem was all everything. And when he was at 40, he wasn't no fucking LeBron.
LeBron is a
Oh,
different animal. Like
and
you
listen,
got.
let me tell you how cold. Listen, Aramis, let me share with the audience here. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played until he was about 43. The man was so cold. He won 4 championships at UCLA in college, turned around in the NBA and won about 5 or 6 more with the Lakers. The man was so good. When he came out of high school, they banned dunking. Listen to me. They outlawed dunking because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They said that you're not allowed to dunk because it was too easy and he had an advantage over people. Couple years later, and he still, LeBron just broke his scoring title, and they took Duncan away from the whole NBA because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Back then, he was called Lou Alcindor, and he changed his name from Lou Alcindor to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because he went Muslim. The NBA banned dunking because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then a few years later, they put it back in because the ABA. Remember, the ABA was the American Basketball League. The
Mhm.
ABA came out and they put Duncan back in, and the ABA, and this is history now, I'm telling you, this is historical. The ABA started a league to go against the NBA because they said, hey, we'll put in Duncan and we'll put in a 3-point line. The 3-point line in Duncan was in the ABA. And then they were getting speed, and the NBA was like, oh shit, we're not going to do that. And then they purchased and merged together. And that's how Duncan came back because they banned it because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back then. That's how cold he was. Listen to me. That's how good he was. And then he went on to play at 40. So now, with that being said, you see how good of a player he was, period. And then here we go with LeBron. And at 40, not to say LeBron ain't Kareem, but at the end of the day, we're talking about a player who transcended the league. You know how you say the Jordan rule? The Jordan rule was put in because they said it's not fair for people to be beating the shit out of you going into the paint. Kareem Abdul made the NBA change the rules to say, hey, you cannot dunk the ball in a game.
Right.
Now tell me how strong of a player that you would have to be if the league banned an offensive move to say you can't dunk no more. So that's just a testament for me to share with you from the new school, for the old school, how good Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was. And then Kareem Abdul went on to be the all-time scoring person in the NBA ever until right now, last year or whenever, when LeBron finally broke his record, and this dude is 40 and still playing like he's in a 25-year-old body. My question to you again, what are you juicing
He ain't
at
juicing
40?
no. He ain't
And
juicing no
he might
fuck,
not
bro.
be juicing, but I have to question it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, think about it. I mean, the man's been fit for 21 plus years. He's been he's been having the same body structure, same, same movement. Like he ain't slowing down no time soon. But it's
22
just
years, bro. And listen, and then remember we had this other one. Remember, Aaron's like, and then listen, Aaron, listen to this. He's never missed a season, ever. Even Kobe missed a season.
because I mean,
Never missed a season.
Kobe is a
Come
different.
on,
Listen,
bro.
listen. Kobe and LeBron had different mentalities when it comes to work ethic. Kobe is a gym rat. LeBron is paying for these trainers so that he can stay fit. Kobe
$1
didn't
million,
do that.
bro.
That's what made Kobe and LeBron so different because Kobe, he actually believed in his work and actually did the work. LeBron out here is slacking and like you said, paid over $1 million for these trainers.
Well, he not slacking. He just doing whatever he. I don't consider it slacking. I just think that he's paying top dollar, which now I give LeBron credit. Rather you juicing or not, that's just another, because to me, juicing, every athlete juices. Let's start with that. When juicing means that, to me, juicing means that you take supplements. Everybody takes supplements. Now it's on the NBA to determine what supplements are legal and what supplements are illegal. That's the difference between juicing. So let me just make sure the audience understands that. Every athlete takes supplements. Everybody. We take vitamins and everything now as supplements to help us. So now what happens is if you take a stronger kind of supplement or a steroid or whatever the case may be, it enhances you to the fullest. So now some people even were saying Curry. Curry was taking supplements and so
He
or we
was.
all think so, but he was taking some ones that could have been questionable. But at the end of the day, it's up to the medical people in the NBA to say, hey, you can take this substance, whether we can afford to pay for it or LeBron James can afford to pay for any kind of supplements to say, hey, is this illegal or not? So that's the difference between what it is. So I want everybody to understand that in in medicine, and you have medicine and athletes. So you have, medicine and athletes mixed in together. So whenever you have that, you want to have the top medicine, the top doctors, because they want to give these players the top things they need to recover faster and to make their body strong as they can legally. And then that's the gray line. So now when I say juicing, I say it in a charismatic way, because at the end of the day, everybody takes something. Now, let's think about it. Just like when they said Magic had AIDS. Remember when Magic Johnson was the first basketball player to ever report that he had AIDS? And then now everybody else who had AIDS died. Magic Johnson looks the same way he looks now, back when he announced I had AIDS back in 92 or whatever. And then they were saying, hey, reportedly, he got the medicine from Dr. Sebi in Africa. And then they said that they're not gonna condone it or say that they give it credit, because now you want to say that the cure of AIDS is going to go to a black man, which is a whole nother subject about who it came from. But the whole point is you can go out here and get any kind of medicine from anybody to it, from enhancement, whatever, and then the medical people in America is the FCC or whoever it is that does the medical stuff to say, hey, we will say it's legal in America or legal in basketball or legal in football, which is played in America. But if you go overseas, they'll call it, oh, it's a recreational drug or it's an experimental drug, because our medical board here doesn't recognize it.
Right.
So there, case in point, LeBron could be just like that. And I'm not saying LeBron is or not, but if the man's spending $1 million, he's going outside of the box to say, hey, I'm looking across the whole global world to get as much advantage as I can to keep me in the best shape of my life. Now that I would say, think about it, because even you, if you get sick with a common cold or you get this and that, you're going to say, hey, my grandmother told me that I should go take these kind of berries, or maybe I should go buy this kind of supplement drink from overseas or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And then now it makes you feel better. So
Right.
when you say LeBron is out here spending $1 million, I commend the man, because whatever you taking, I want some.
Bro, no, bro.
I
Oh
need
my
some of that, bro.
God, bro. This man said, whatever you take us on, I want some. Like, bro, if anything, let me get some, bro. Like, damn, I'm trying to get in shape too. Like, what you mean, bro? Like, shit. No, but it's so right now it's 4 o'clock. I want to get into this before we end it off. So this has been a very disturbing moment for me,
Okay,
and I'm at a point where I'm about to have a volcano pop out of my head because I'm irritated.
okay.
Um, I'm sure you know this guy very well, Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, that's my guy.
This man pissed me off.
Agent Zero. Agent Zero is what they call Gilbert Arenas.
Agent Zero.
Yep.
I'm about to blow a fuse out of this man, bro, for the ridiculous comments he has to make about Steph Curry. What hatred do you have against this man, bro?
Okay.
First, you
Hold
say
on.
he is not a
Oh,
talented
all right,
player.
hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. You keep going on about what about. Don't say nothing here. I'm gonna go make me a drink, but I want you to tell me the whole scenario, because before you start, let me tell you who Agent Zero is. Gilbert Arenas was that dude. Listen to me.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
then, Gilbert Arenas was LeBron James, Jordan, or everybody. Gilbert Arenas was the first player to wear zero. That's why they called him Agent Zero. You never see people wear zero.
You never do.
Even on the Buffalo Bills right now, not switching subjects. Buffalo Bills got the wide receiver Coleman that they drafted, and he wears the number zero. You don't see that. And back in the day, if you wore zero, which nobody ever wore, whenever you got on team, they said you wear one and up. If you wore zero, that means that you was the super god dude. You was Jordan. So back to Gilbert. Gilbert was one of the first people to wear a number zero in the NBA. That's why they called him Agent Zero. The man averaged about 36 points a game back in that era.
Hmm.
I remember seeing him in person when LeBron was his rookie season in Cleveland when they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs to play and played against Washington Wizards. This was the Washington Wizards. If you can look it up. Kobe Bryant and them played for the Cavaliers. They came into Washington his rookie season. Gilbert Arenas was cooking, folks. Gilbert Arenas was Agent Zero. He was the first NBA player to get $100 million contract. First player ever. No Jordan, none of that. Gilbert Arenas. That's how cold he was. So now when you talk about Gilbert Arenas, he was Kobe. Like, if you needed a shot, he was the guy. He was Jordan back then. He would cook you. Like Steph Curry right now, all of that. Okay, I give Steph Curry his flowers, but I promise you, Steph Curry came up with a knack where he just was like, okay, I'm gonna find spots on the offense. I mean, on the half court set because remember, most times they try to get in a half court offense. Steph Curry got very good because he said, well, I'm not gonna. Most time when defense is set up, where do they set up at Aramis? At best, they wait for you at the 3-point line. Most time it's inside the 3-point line, right? Not
Yeah,
or you play
yeah, but
defense
when
at
it's
the
Curry, you
3-point
got
line.
stuff coming from the outside.
Right. So Steph Curry did. He said, when I cross over half court, I'm going to look for some spots that I feel comfortable where I can shoot before I even get to the 3-point line. And he became very good at it. And that's why he's dangerous as fuck right now. He's shot millions of shots where he can cross over the half court line and start shooting it from way God's man. And he started making it. So that's what makes him that guy now. With that one thing that he added to his arsenal. Because if it wasn't for that, who the fuck would Steph Curry be? Nobody.
Nobody,
It wouldn't be
nobody at all.
nobody. He is somebody because he's mad. He's already a good jump shot. So I'm not taking away from. I'm not saying nobody in that regard. I'm just saying he would be just like a regular NBA player, give or take, if he didn't develop with the three. So in Ice Cube's league, three on three league, Ice Cube's league, they
Mm-hmm.
have that shot is called a four point shot,
Yeah.
which the NBA may adapt later because remember the NBA always steals shit because remember they outlawed dunking, ABA took it. They outlawed there was no 3-point line. The ABA developed the 3-point line. Now the 3-on-3 league what Ice Cube got, they saying that same shot that LeBron has in the 3-on-3 is now considered a 4-point shot. So eventually at one point the NBA is going to go to a 4-point shot to make it. But case in point, Curry has developed a shot to say, hey, I'm going to practice this shot because no defense is going to be on me. And God bless Curry because now it's made him all world person. It put him in a whole nother hemisphere. So that's why when you say Gilbert talking about Arenas, I mean, Arenas talking about Gilbert Arenas talking about Curry. I want to hear what you have to say with, but I just try to give you the format so you can understand when you talk about Gilbert, who coming from the old school, looking at the new school. Gilbert was that dude. Like when I tell you, you get the ball in his hand and you need a bucket. We would say give it to Jordan, give it to Kobe, and then Kobe. Remember, I tell you sometimes they'll say Kobe. They get on Kobe because Kobe won't take the shot. He'll make the better play. Gilbert wasn't that dude. Gilbert was like, fuck that, give me the ball like Kobe. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make the shot. Just like you said, Ant, give me the ball. If I take eight dribbles, I'm gonna get to the basket and do my thing. So that's who Gilbert Arenas was, so you can understand what he was. He was the first player to make $100 million in the NBA ever. So he talks a lot of shit, but the man can fucking play. And he got in trouble because he was already an asshole already, like talk a lot of shit, just like Jordan. Jordan. Nobody talks more shit in the league than Jordan. And then you have a person like Gilbert Arenas who talks about the same much shit as Jordan, and he can back it up with his numbers and stuff like that. He just didn't have the championship. But I just want you to understand who we talking about. So now when you tell me what he said about Curry, you can understand what kind of player he was. So he really was that dude. What got Gilbert Arenas in trouble was because when he played for the Wizards, Kwame Brown. I don't know if you know Kwame Brown. He's on a podcast now too. Kwame Brown, when Jordan bought the Wizards, Kwame Brown was his number one pick. And when he came in the number one pick back then, it was either Kwame Brown or somebody else that Gilbert Arenas got in trouble with. They had to start bringing guns in the locker room. And then the boy was talking shit. Fuck you, Gilbert. Da 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 da. Gilbert went in his locker and pulled out a nine. And was like, nigga, I will shoot you after the game, and got suspended from the league, the whole shit. And then that's what fucked Gilbert Arenas' career up. But at the end of the day, I just want you to know who he is as a player and what he did so you can understand when he talks and shit and all that, you can know that he's just not a bum ass dude. So now you can go ahead and say what you want to say, but I just wanted to fill you in if you didn't really know who Gilbert Arenas was back
Oh,
in the day.
I did, and I don't like. I'm not saying this to come hard on him. It's just I just need a clear understanding on why you putting so much pressure and so much like
Gilbert is an
criticism.
asshole. He's an asshole. So don't feel like you be giving
Yeah,
him a break.
I'm
He's a
not. But
fucking
the thing
asshole.
is, it's like okay, cool. Like you said
So what
Curry
did he say?
isn't.
I didn't mean to cut you. I just wanted to give our audience a little bit so they can know because
Yeah,
some of these people are new school fans, old school fans. They just might not know who Gilbert Arenas was. So I just want to put a
and that's
stamp
good
on it.
clarification right there. Yeah, that's actually really good for for people who don't know who he is. There you go. You got your clarification right there. So
Right.
the comment that I saw from Gilbert Arenas, because first time Arenas said that Curry isn't a generational talent player. When that statement was out there,
Wait. Say that again. He said that Curry isn't a generational player.
yes, that was the first comment. But I think that was like a year ago where it said that he wasn't a generational player. But I'm confused. How was he not? So my second thing is the second comments where he made this was I think like a week or two ago.
Okay.
He said that Luka and Kyrie. No, he said Luka and Tatum are a much better scorer than Curry. Absolutely nonsense. Because how is Curry and Tatum? I was like, how is Tatum and Luka a better scorer than Curry
So
is?
so let me
Tatum
say
is not even a good scorer.
so let me say this. In my opinion, and I only can say in my opinion what I think that Gilbert Arenas meant by that. So I would say that, in my opinion, trying to put myself in Gilbert Arenas' shoes, why would I say that? Why would I say that Tatum and Luka Doncic is a better generational scorer than a Curry? So I would
Yeah,
say this.
that I
In my,
agree.
in my opinion, they are better scorers in the fact that they can score more ways, in my opinion, than Curry. Because to me, Curry, his bread and butter is the three ball, and he can go super deep, and he can probably shoot better than. And I ain't gonna say probably. He I would say is probably top three in the history of the game in shooting the long ball. Now I can go back Ray Allen. We can go back some players who can
Reggie
light
Miller,
that
Larry
thing up.
Bird,
Reggie Miller. We
Larry
can go
Bird,
back and talk about the real shooters. Not talking about you got a shooting. I'm talking about boys
most
who that's what they do.
right, the most lethal shooters
Right.
that don't miss.
Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about in those type of people, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and he just creeping and he just creeping in that thing we're deadly. So that's where I would say that Curry, when Gilbert said it about Curry, that's the one dimension that he has, bar none. But now when you talk
What I
about
think
Tatum
is
and Luka and all them, they can score inside the paint, off the dribble, catch and shoot, three ball, short ball, mid range, whatever you want to do. And again, I'm not for sure if that's exactly what he meant, but in my opinion, what he was trying to say is that they more generational score because they can score in more lethal ways than one. And yes, Curry can go to the basket, but that's not what he does. That's not what defines him.
exactly. So you can't right. So you can't say that Tatum and Luka is a much better scorer than Curry because Curry barely goes to the paint.
But
Literally,
that's what
Curry is
when I think so. Aaron, I think when he was saying it, he wasn't. He might have maybe not saying they're much better scorer. I don't think that's the right verbiage. I think what probably more meant was they could score in more ways
right.
than Curry because Curry bread and butter is the long ball. Other than
Right.
that,
And
he got
then
a
right.
shot here and
And he
there.
knows
But
right.
Luka
And he
can
knows
score
actually
in
ways to
multiple kind of ways, and so can Tatum. So I think in the overall way that they can score, they're a much better overall scorer with the talents they have and the ways they can score the ball than Curry.
right. But right. And the thing is too is like there are other players besides Curry who can shoot the long ball and shoot but can also find other ways to score. Curry can find
Right.
other ways to score, but
But
his
not so
most
much though. But the okay, so Amos, you're a Curry guy. Not so much. Like if you go look at all of his shots, you know when they have the game where they say, "Hey, where a person made all of his shots in the game." If you look at every game that Curry had, 90% of them are going to be beyond the arc.
right, and forty
And ten
percent
percent maybe be inside the three, inside the arc where he went to the hole or this and that. But for them, so now if you go to Luka and you go to Tatum, 90% of their shots are going to be all over inside the paint, mid range, and then some three. Where
right,
and I might be wrong, but I believe that Curry has 85 to 90% of all his shots are outside of the arc. So that means that he's really
which
one
is
dimensional, but
because
it's
he's
but
had
but it's a but it's a tough one dimensional because when you say you're one dimensional and you're outside the arc, that's a lot of space. But most people don't understand that because you don't really have a players who can score at that higher clip outside the arc until we ran into a Steph Curry. And you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to be better than him because you know why? Now that we have that blueprint out there, and this is why I say that the generational players today are more skilled than the old players because now you're going to have a player who says, you know what? I'm going to be better than Steph Curry. So all my life, I'm going to be skilled with handling the ball. And the only thing I know how to do is shoot outside the arc. And there's going to be somebody that comes along and going to be even more better than Curry. They're going to be another LeBron James who's in a Steph Curry position who says, I'm the next player, and this is what I do from the gate. And I promise you, somebody's going to be better than Steph Curry, but it's just that Steph Curry has opened up this realm that you can be lethal outside of the three, and he's dangerous. So now the people got the blueprint, mark my word, by the time you turn 40, you're going to remember this conversation and say, there's going to be a player that's more lethal outside the arc than Steph Curry.
right because I mean I've seen players like I feel like the player that is gonna outshoot Curry despite the range is most likely gonna be either Trey Young, LaMelo Ball, or yeah, I I'm gonna have to go with those two, Melo Ball or Trey. Like either of those two will take their shots from deep. Like we, we've seen Trey Young's uh shot percentage because his shot percentage is the same as Curry's, but the amount of shot he takes is beyond the arc. And don't get me wrong, like Curry, Dame, Clay, LaMelo, Trey Young, like all their shots are beyond the arc,
Mm-hmm.
and their percentage is roughly around the same percent, maybe a little bit a percent higher,
But
but
you know why don't nobody say talk about them? Because now you have to take that ingredient and be a winner.
exactly.
None of them have won shit.
And
So unfortunately, the stats, that's why sometimes people have to dig into the stats, and you'll have some players that have great stats, never won a chip, i.e. Reggie Miller, i.e. Charles Barkley. And I can go on and on. There's some players who is definitely out there. And like I said, I never even would have thought LaMelo Ball or
Trey Young,
uh who else did you say? LeBall, the
I
boy from
said
Atlanta,
I said
Trey, and
Damian Lillard.
Dame Leonard and all them. You know, I know they're great players, but I didn't never really look at their percentage score. You know, percentage shot,
Yeah,
percentage
so
scoring compared to Curry. But at the end of the day, they're not talked about because they haven't won nothing.
exactly. But the thing is like, but if they were to talk about the percentage, that's if they won something. But still, 20% 3 point percentage should be talked about because if you're directly talking about the stats, number, six points, rebounds, free throw percentage, points per game, all that
Mhm.
percentage of the 3 point is in the conversation of stats. So that should be brought up. There should be no reason why. Oh, we gotta wait till they win. No, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. It's a matter
Right.
of how many shots they
But
take
now
a game.
listen what you're saying. This is why I was trying to tell you when we first started this podcast. Nobody talks about the percentage.
Right,
And
but
then
you should
remember
though.
when I was saying about Angel Reese? They're hating so much on her. They want to talk about that. Oh, she's not as good as everybody say she is because her percentage sucks. Nobody gives a fuck about the percentages. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody does, but I feel like you should though. With anything about it, but
I
but
mean, and I agree because at the end of the day, it is a valid stat. But at the end of the day, nobody goes and says, "Oh, Curry, you're really a shitty shooter because you really only shoot you only shoot 33%." Nobody says that.
nobody does.
And I don't know what's his percentage from beyond the arc. They just say when you count shooting percentage, it counts anywhere you shot on the court. So I really would test one of our statistician people to say, can somebody tell me what is Curry's actual shooting percentage beyond the arc? Not and take away the shots that's inside the arc and really see what his percentage is beyond the arc. I would be curious to know what that is.
Hold on, I'll see if I can look it up while you keep talking. Go ahead.
But does that make sense what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Clay, when he first came into the league, he was the average Joe Blow. He was
Right.
nobody. He wasn't that great, but he worked on his game. And when he worked on his game, that separated him and his father, Dale Curry, one of the bomb shooters to play for Charlotte. He was a great shooter. He said that, you know what, we have to make you relevant. And you know what they worked on? What he worked on when he first came in the league to now? Shooting beyond the arc. And that's transcended his game because without that, he would be just a regular average player like everybody else, which he was the first 3 years in the league. He was I ain't gonna say trash, but he was average,
Right.
very average. And he went to work, like you said, when you working in the summer and all that. He specifically worked on creating an opportunity for him to score before the defense can get to him. And he said, well, you know what? I'm across the line and find somewhere as soon as I cross the half court line where I can be dangerous and I can hit that shot at a good percentage. And
All
he's
right.
been able to do that.
So
And that's elevated his career from here to up here.
all right. So I just found his beyond the arc 3 point percentage is a 40.6%.
And that's amazing.
40 a 40.6%, and he's been doing that for his whole career. Right
That's
now, he's
amazing.
entering his year 16 of the
So
season.
he hits better beyond the arc than overall.
Right, because on the outside, nobody's guarding Curry on the outside beyond the arc. But if he steps in a few inches in, everybody's on him
Well,
because
because remember, traditional defense is going to play inside the arc because they
right,
always were taught to what, guard the paint because the paint is the closest to the basket. The further you away, the defense say, "Hey, it's no need for me to guard you out there because you can't score, or I'll let you show me." And then you know what happened? Here comes Steph Curry
right,
shooting at 40%. That's amazing.
exactly.
And he deserves all of his accolade because there's no other player that shoots beyond arc at 40%. Nobody. I would bet the mortgage. And then you talk about go look up Melo and go look up Trey Young and all of them. And I bet you if you could pull them up right now, they don't shoot at 40% beyond the arc. Nobody does. Nobody. I've never heard, and I didn't even know Steph was that high beyond the arc until you just brought that up.
All right, so I got Melo Ball's 3 point percentage beyond the arc.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's 35.5%.
Who's Melo Ball?
Yep, Melo Ball.
And that's amazing. That's
Right,
that's actually really good, bro.
right. And then
I didn't know this.
if you look at Trey Young's, hold on, let me go to Trey Young's because I know his is roughly around the same as Melo's, but probably a little higher. Actually, yeah, it is. It is a little higher because it's 37.3%.
So now listen to this, Aramis. Look what you're saying. So now we have. in this new era that we have in the last 3 years. I think those stats are what, 3 or 4 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that they were shooting. I know. Let's just say those stats were really relevant in the last 3 years. So now you have people just studying and getting in the gym, working on a skill set. Remember, I tell you. So I tell you, the newer generation is more skilled overall than the old school. So now I just think that young kid just listening at our podcast right now or in the world today, just 7 years old, his dad is teaching him, and he's in an environment where he's teaching that, hey, we're going to teach you from now that your only shots is beyond the arc, and he becomes dangerous. That's why I told you that somebody else is going to supersede Steph's Curry 40%. Because now people are going to purposely start training to do that. Whereas before, you wasn't doing that. They just teach you about the game of basketball. You get the closest you get to the basket, the higher percentage. Remember, that's how the game goes. That's why they talk about Angel Reese. They say, well, no, duh, you should be shooting 80, 90% because you're standing right in front of the fucking basket. But then I tell them that, yeah, you say that when nobody's guarding you. And then remember, I was telling you that Brittany Griner is one of the biggest players in the NBA at 6'10". Angel dropped 20 rebounds with her checking her.
Right.
So again, how does that work when Angel Reese is 6'2", Brittany Griner is 6'10"? Definitely Brittany Griner has a height advantage. So now you can't take away the dog in her because she is just a straight up dog. She gonna put her body on you. She gonna box you out. She using good techniques. She's doing everything she can do with her God-given talent, and she's going out there every day putting in work. Double. She getting over average, and she averaging almost 14 rebounds a game in the NBA, WNBA or NBA. Nobody does that.
Right.
And so now when you talk about Steph Curry and all them, nobody's shooting at a 40% outside the arc. But I promise you, with the skill set that these young kids have now, and you have a kid to say, hey, I want to be better than Steph Curry, you mark my word, it's going to be somebody to come along and be the next LeBron James or whatever his name going to be, and they're going to be even deadlier from the arc than Curry, because now that is becoming a focal point of practice and skill set that you can shoot the long ball at a high rate.
All right. All right. So I actually got the real average 3 point distance. So
Uh-huh.
first you got Curry at 27 point. So this is just the now this is the average 3 point distance. So Curry is at one. Curry's at 27.58 feet.
Mhm.
Dame is at 27.68 feet. Trey is at 27.94 feet. And you got your girl, Caitlin Clark, at 28.09 feet.
See, see,
Caitlin Clark has the most distance three
because
point average 3 point shot.
and look what I just said, Hermes. Didn't I just say before you even brought that stat that with the new skill set today, somebody's going to come along and be even better than Steph Curry? And here you go, Caitlin Clark, a WNBA player, because
Has the highest, right?
she's been practicing her craft beyond the arc, and this is what she do.
Exactly.
So
And right,
Steph Curry really has opened up another part of the game that's been dormant, never been really touched at
exactly.
a high clip. And now look what you got. Dame Leonard, Melo Ball. Melo Ball just got in the league 2, 3 years ago. Then you got uh, Curry, who's been in the league for a minute, but he started using that skill set relatively the last 5 years. And then now look what happened. Out of nowhere, here comes Caitlin Clark, rookie, right in the conversation.
Yeah. And to be honest, people are saying that Caitlin Clark is a female version of Steph Curry.
He already did. Read the
She
stat
already
again.
got that title.
Read the stat again. What the stat just said? 20 what feet?
28.09 feet.
And what's Curry's?
27.58 feet.
He's higher than him.
Right. There's
Because you
always
know
gonna be
why?
somebody who has
Like
a
I
higher
said,
percentage
like I said,
between.
I give props to the new era of
Right.
players because
I
they
do too.
definitely
Give him the
work on the
flowers.
skill set. They're more skilled. And Curry, I give him credit because now he has created the new player. This is a new player. There was never there were shooters, but not to the new rate of what the shooter is today, i.e., Curry, best in the NBA, and then look at for the women,
Right.
rookie,
As a
rookie,
rookie, doing all this as a
rookie,
rookie, bro.
and just think about it. She ain't even near her ceiling. She just getting started.
Right.
Where could she get 10 years in the league like Curry? I bet you that's gonna
Yeah.
go from 28 to about what, 32? Maybe.
Yeah, for real.
If I did I say something wrong?
Nah.
Because she at 28 now, she a rookie. Season ain't even over. She's still adding. She ain't got to the playoffs yet.
and to be honest, like that's how Curry was. But to think about it, there's always going to be somebody coming into the league that's going to do a lot more better. And look what Caitlin Clark is doing. Look what Trey. Look what Melo. Look at all these young generational players coming
Yeah.
into the league and outdoing much better
But
than what
but
the player has
who do
done.
you say thank you to? Thank you, Steph Curry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because now
I really do
you've
because
created this new monster. This new monster who can shoot way beyond the arc. Not at the arc, way beyond the arc.
like literally, like I have watched Damian Lillard in the two All Stars where this man shot from the other side of the court and shot a long ball three and made it.
You know what we
These
used to call that
players,
airman back in the day? Oh, that was a luck shot. When a
it ain't
motherfucker
love
shot
shot
a half
now,
court
man.
basket, oh, you got lucky. They do that at halftime shows and say, hey, if you can make it from half court, we'll give you $10,000 and shit. Now they scared to do that. Motherfucker gonna make that shot now.
They can't make it in an actual real NBA game because they know that like we gonna shut
But
that
the thing
down.
about it
Like
is, the whole point is that people are shooting it more. And the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it.
right.
Nobody was saying practice a deep 27-foot 3-point shot. The coach would be like, sit your ass on the bench, you're tripping. No, honestly. Just think about it. Just you play ball, you go in there and come cross court and let it go. And what your coach gonna tell you to do?
Come sit down.
Have a seat. Have a seat. But
Have a
now
seat,
once he
bro.
see that you can make that, then he can say, hey, do I gamble and put this in my arsenal? And now you know what coaches used to say, old school coaches and all that would say, oh hell no. Nah. Get your ass closer to the basket and do what we can do. But because of these new generational players, that's becoming a deadly skill set now. And Caitlin Clark is trailblazing it.
Right, right. Because like and that's crazy how I brought that up too. Because old school players, just like Steve Kerr, the moment when uh I want to bring up this play too when the Golden State Warriors faced the LA Clippers back when they had the like when it was Lob City, when it was Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, JJ Redick, all of
Mm-hmm.
them. This man had five defenders on him. He split the defense, went to the three, turned around, threw it up, and it went in. When Steve Kerr lost his mind, he was gonna be like Curry, go to the bench. But when he made that, he knew that like Curry could find ways to get a shot off, and he knew like that's Curry's way of
Yeah. Because what happens is, remember, he played with Jordan and all back in the day, and he knew what it was. And he comes from my era. If I have a kid on my team right now doing that, sit your ass down.
nah, yeah, for real.
Because what is you doing? Like
I would say
that's
the same thing. Like, bro, go sit down, bro.
yeah,
We
what,
ain't
yeah, what
shooting
are you
that much
doing?
now.
And worse, you miss. And then if you make it, I'd be like, okay, don't do that shit again because I know that I would even say you got lucky.
But now if you do it over and over and over and over, and you still
What?
make the amount of shots, then
Because
go ahead
because
take them
because
shots, man.
because now I have to take a person like you, new era coach, who understands and can once you can get a because now that's a generational player. The Steph Curry, the Caitlin Clarks of today is the new generational player for the three ball where you have to add that into your arsenal.
Right.
That's different because before it'll be like swing the ball, and you try to get a three, and oh, your foot was on the line. Now it ain't even about that. It's about you better go wait for a motherfucker at half court because as soon as they cross the line, they letting it go. And
Right.
nobody's really had to ever defend that. Nobody really ever had to defend that kind of player ever in the history of the game. And when we did do it, you ever play you play basketball, you know how they say pick up your man full court. Remember that? The coach say we doing full court press. How long does that last in a game? 2 minutes?
That does, yeah, it does
Because
last 2
everybody
minutes.
gassed out. You got to check a player from this end of the court to this end of the court 100% of the time.
I'd rather pick him up half court because why would you waste all that energy?
Right. And then just think
Because
about it. How many times do you see him actually pick up a player up at half court?
you don't, you see him to you see him do it. You see him
They
do a
because
full
they
court.
teach them to go back inside the paint or inside the arc and wait on it because we never had to worry about somebody with that kind of skill set that we had to stretch our defense out further. Now they're going to make it worse because you're going to have to guard that player, which means that now what happens? The court gets opened up. Can't pack the paint in.
Right.
And that's what we were taught. Pack the paint in, guard the paint. Da 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 da. Oh, he can shoot. Make sure you get out and check him, or we do a box and one for him. Now you got when you bring this in with this new generational kind of player who can shoot above the arc, it's going to be trouble because you know what's going to happen. You're going to have to go back to man. That's why the big people, the big players, Luka Doncic. You got some of these players, there's 7 feet KD. Traditionally, you would say, oh no, son, you play center. Now you got 7-footers shooting threes. And if these people start even going further beyond the arc, it's going to be a problem because most traditional big men, we just hope you can get your ass back down the court to guard the paint. Now they're talking about check a man up and down and outside the three. That's a problem. That's why KD
Yeah.
is doing what he do because he's 7 feet and light and a gazelle and can shoot the ball and nobody can check him. So now these new age players, when you start having more 7-footers, Luka, KD, all these bigger players who can handle the ball and shoot, that means now you got to defend them out there.
Right.
The game is going to change with this new Steph Curry, Caitlin Clark kind of player. I call it generational shooter because now you're going to have to check them players, which means that you're going to have to open up the court, which means now it's going to have to be more what? One-on-one defense. Ain't going to be no help side.
No, it's gonna be that one-on-one defense.
One-on-one defense. So now, again, what's going to have to happen? Somebody going to have to stop somebody one-on-one.
And if you can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you.
It's going to be over.
It's gonna be over
And
at
that
this
and that
point, man.
and that's a good thing because at the end of the day, if an offensive player, if you have 100% offensive player and 100% defensive player, who's going to win?
The
90% of the time. The offensive player is going to always win 90% of the time
Dolphins,
because
yeah,
you don't
because
never know what you're going to do.
right, and
Yes, I
anything
got a block this time.
like
Yes, I got a block this time, but I didn't get a block the other time because I didn't know what you were going to go left, right. You're going to pull up. You're going to do mid range. You're going to do deep. You're going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. And then I only can play deep. Just think about it. Look up the stat. How long can you play defense on a player? 2 seconds? 4 seconds? How long
yeah,
can
let's
the
go ahead and
can
look
a
at it.
defensive player check an offensive player on average? 5 seconds? Now, that's a valid point, right? Because remember, the defense can only check you but for so long. You're going to get free. And worse, you got this generational player, Steph Curry, Caitlin Clark. I got to check you way out there half court. Do you know how much real estate is between half court and the bucket? That's a
Okay,
lot
so
of real estate that I got to check you.
all right, so it says this, in basketball, a defensive player can't stay in an opponent's foul lane for more than 3 seconds in a row.
What? Say it one more time. How many?
3 seconds
3
in a row.
seconds? Come
Three
on, bro.
seconds.
Come on, bro.
And look, I'm gonna say it again. In basketball, a defensive player, for all basketball people, if you play defense, if you don't know this rule, if you're playing defense and you're playing full court, you cannot stay in your opponent's foul lane for more than 3 seconds. Because
On
that,
average. On average.
on average, 3 seconds. Because you know why? Because this is known as a 3 second rule or defensive 3 second violation. The violation is
Well,
called when a defender is in the lane and not actively guarding an opponent.
well, yeah, that's when they not check you. But I'm just saying, in general, if you pick up a player offensive, 100%, the best player offense against 100% best player defense, he only going to be able to guard him for 3 or 4 seconds. That's it.
Yeah, three
That's it.
seconds.
3 or 4 seconds. I'm all over you. And then after about 3-4 seconds, that's going to break down. They're going to hit you with a crossover, whoop, 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 step back, Euro step, something. And you're going free. Because remember, in basketball, you have to create distance to get a shot.
Right.
So, Mr. Defense, you mirroring me for 3 seconds. And then once we get to 4 seconds and start doing this, now I can get a shot off. And then listen, that number, Amos, that you're reading is traditionally inside the paint. I don't think there's a number that says how long can you guard a person outside the arc. I would be curious to see if you have that number, because if you have that number, I bet you it's much shorter than 3 seconds, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because there's too much real estate, bro. When you stop, just think about it, Amos. If you check me and I just come across the half court line and we're at the center of the court, what you gonna do? You can't glove me. I'm going left, right. It's too much real estate.
I gotta, you know what I'm saying? But I can't be all up on you though, because like I
Yeah,
never
you can't
know.
foul me. You can't
Yeah.
foul me. You're right. So just think about it. Now you're talking about the new generation. God bless them, because now y'all have created a new monster. You got a new weapon, and it's called the 3 ball outside of the arc.
Yeah, you
Not at
can't
the
guard
arc.
that.
Not at the arc. Outside of the arc.
Beyond. When we say
Oh yeah,
beyond, we mean
my bad. Beyond the arc.
like we mean logo shot. We mean everywhere beyond that joint, bro.
Beyond the arc. That's a new weapon, and that's a new weapon that's
It
coming
is,
out for
and that
basketball.
weapon is unstoppable, because like once a player can get within that range and they are a shooter, bro. At this point, you might as well just let them shoot the ball at this point, because it's can't stop that.
But just think, you have Steph Curry, i.e., the beyond the arc sharpshooter for the National Basketball Association. He represents them for saying, I am the beyond the arc shooter. And now you have the new kid on the block who studied the game and studied the craft to say, I'm going to be a weapon beyond the arc. And her name is Caitlin Clark.
By far, there you go. There you go.
She's 21. She's 21, bro.
She's 21. She's a rookie doing all
21. And you're in the
21
same
rookie.
conversations as a Steph Curry.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. That's going to be a
That
problem.
is dangerous, man. Like, and I've never thought, like, not even somebody outside the NBA, but in a whole nother league, in the WNBA, who has.
But now, Aramis, listen to this. I'm gonna talk with you, because you're right. But just think about it. What I said. It's not even that you saying. It's one thing to say what you say, because you're talking about a player that's not even in the NBA. But what happening is this is the new generation player. Because
Yeah.
remember, I said the new generation is more talented than the old generation. And you know who's your first product of the new generation? Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark hasn't proved. She's proved it. Really, she's proved it. Really.
And she's a
And
rookie, bro. She's a rookie. A rookie. So my
mhm.
question to you is, you know who's the next one coming out? And I know people might not follow WNBA. Go watch USC Juju.
Oh yeah, of course, Juju is next. Yeah, bro. I
What?
love Juju. I'm not gonna lie. I have watched Juju play her game in college, and she is nice. And she is the upcoming, behind Caitlin Clark. So she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Juju is so for those who don't know, Juju Watkins is Juju Watkins led her team to the playoff round and lost, and she was this close of getting a chip for her first time as a
Yeah.
freshman.
A freshman.
A freshman, dog. If she can do that, and she
Bro,
goes in
listen.
WNBA,
She, she could have came out in her freshman year and drafted in the top 10 in the WNBA.
yeah, because
With
her Angel
Caitlin,
Reese and
with
Caitlin
Caitlin
Clark,
and Angel.
they all would have got drafted in the same class. In the
Straight up.
early, period.
Straight up. Period.
That's what people don't understand. Like when you think about how we have new high class generation players,
Yeah.
you do realize that these players can end their career in college for 1 year just off a tremendous year they had and go
Now, now,
into the
now
league.
listen. Let me tell you why, in my opinion, Juju didn't come out. Do you want to know why?
Go
In
ahead,
my
tell me.
opinion, NIL deal.
NIL deal.
NIL deal. She's about to
Mm.
get paid, be the highest NIL deal player in college sports this year.
Ooh.
Watch. And she ain't even in the NBA.
She
Period.
not. That's a lot right there, bro.
That's why, listen, because other than that, why would you stay? You can always go back. Listen, back in the day, you couldn't go. Remember, I told you back in the day, you couldn't leave college to go to the pros unless you played a certain amount of time. And then they created what they call the hardship rule because some people say, hey, listen, my family, everybody broke and everybody depended on me, and we have a hardship and I need to get out. So that's how you had Moses Malone get out of the league. And you had, uh, uh, you had all of these different players, Kobe Bryant, you had all these different players who got out before they were supposed to, in high school. So then what happened was now you put NIL deal out, and NIL deal means that, hey, I can stay in college. Just like this look at Deion's son, Shakir Sanders. Why you ain't out? You could have went out last year.
That is true.
You could have went out last year. Got drafted in the top 10. Shakir, that play for Colorado, Deion's son right now. He might have not been the number one, but he'd have been in the top 10
Yeah.
last year.
He definitely been in the top 10. Same thing as, Juju and everybody else would have been
Yeah,
in the
Juju
top
could have been in
10,
the top
bro.
10. So just think about it, Damus. Why are you staying? Because obviously, Deion, I can understand Deion because Deion said, Shakir, you don't need to go out because I got money for you. I'm Deion Sanders, prime time. Now, I
Right.
understand for him, but Juju peoples ain't that. Neither is Caitlin Clark people.
Right.
So NIL is serious. Hold on one second. I'm gonna share something with you, but you can talk. I'm gonna share something with you that I just read about Deion Sanders in Colorado about the NIL deal. Hold on one second.
All right. Yeah. So definitely, definitely a good conversation we're having right now, y'all. So yeah, and definitely like what I mean by generational players that we have witnessed for years that each time we have a greatness coming to these any kind of sports, we have witnessed these young stars play the game, but in a different type of style, and they're using this in today's game. makes it a lot more interesting to watch. So when you see guys like Curry, LeBron, and everybody else, Kobe, everybody else who's really good, it could be soccer, baseball, football, hockey, it could be any kind of sport. It doesn't matter. What matters is the greatness that these old veterans are playing in these sports, and you got these young, talented generation of players coming in doing so much better than the old players. Like that's something else. So back to basketball. So we just brought up Curry. Caitlin Clark has a much better distance 3-point percentage than Curry does because Caitlin Clark has a 28.09 feet. That's insane. And not only did we bring up Juju, but just imagine if Juju never took on that deal, she could have easily came in. Her, Caitlin Clark, and injuries would have been in that top 10 draft, and they all would have had a tremendous season. But you know, like it's just really awesome to see that. And like I don't know, but yo, bro, you guys,
Okay, I'm back.
all right, so yeah, so
So what I was gonna say, Emerson, is this: and for all of our people tuning in today, you can look it up and fact check it.
okay,
In NCAA football, the top team that's been for years, and it was like the hub for you to go to this. Like say, if you went to this school, you was guaranteed to go to the NFL, and that school was Alabama. So Alabama was a school. You remember Alabama? Alabama win it every year, or in the top two, three teams. Nick Saban. Nick Saban is the NFL or NCAA football god. If you went to Alabama, you was going to NFL. He got the top players everywhere. When Nick Saban retired last year or 2 years ago, because he started seeing NIL deals was coming, which means that now he had to compete with money that these sponsors are paying or these boosters paying these kids money, and it won't be about that they're gonna go off the name. So that's how the NIL deals came about, and it changed the culture of NCAA basketball, football, everything. Because then it was about you want to go play for a school that wanted you, and you wanted to go play for a coach who could get you to the next level, i.e., a Nick Saban, different type of people like that. So Nick Saban was the football guy for college. Then if you go to basketball, you had Coach K and all of these other different high uh, winning coaches, and people wanted to go for them just because of their name. So then the NIL deal started. Now what's happening is changing the face of college sports, because now you're not going to say, hey, I want to go play for Alabama because I play football and that's the best coach and he sends a lot of people to the NFL, or I want to go play for Mike Krzyzewski and Duke because they send a lot of people. Just by in that program, you're going to get a lot of attention to go to the National Basketball Association. So what happened is NIL started, which means you can have college started allowing the players to get paid, which means it opens the platform for other schools. So now Nick Saban, Coach K, and them all retired because they said, "Hey, we're old. We don't have to deal with that. Our legacy speaks for ourselves." In comes the new kids. Prime time. He just started at Colorado. He went from the HBCU Jackson State. Went there, got a HBCU team ranked, got to a bowl game and lost. But most HBCUs wasn't doing that. Then he said, okay, I'm gonna show you that I'm bigger than you saying, hey, I was able to do it with a black college. I could do it on the next level too. And he got to deal with Colorado. Went there, made a little bit of noise, and got their ass kicked.
mm,
Won 5 games. But his boy balled out. Numbers. then that's where they said, hey, for football, we need to have more than just one player. It ain't like basketball where you can have one player dominate. Football, you need some help. I don't give a fuck who you are. There's too many players out there. You understand what I'm saying? But case in point, when I'm saying now basketball is going to that too, where you're going to have to watch the NIL of this. So when we start talking about college basketball, we need to do a segment on, you know, what's these new upcoming teams, because now remember the culture of the game is gonna shift from traditional teams who used to win all the time. Like in basketball, you always can say, hey, Duke would always win, North Carolina would always win. You know, you have your traditional teams that win every year, but now that they have the NIL business where they have boosters can come and pay the kids, you're gonna see the NCAA gets more broader. So with that being said, now that they're not chasing coaches, Primetime got a good situation because he got 4 coaches that come play with him that are NFL players. He got him, Warren Sapp, Terrell Owens, all of them now, Ocho, all of them now are position coaches and they played in the NFL. And then what happened was Primetime tried to get a deal with the Prince of Saudi in Saudi Arabia to be an NIL booster. If that happens, Colorado is going to be untouchable because right now nobody has more money than the Saudi prince. That's the richest people in the world. So just imagine if they become NIL booster for Colorado, who's not going to go there? Because any money they can afford any player in the world. Juju, let's go back to Juju. Juju, why you ain't coming out in your rookie year? You the best. You came in the league and did what you did as a freshman, bro.
Yeah. Hey, whatever her choice was or whatever her reason was to go back into college and play another year. Like, hopefully there's a reason why she went back to college. But normally, if you're that good, if you're ready, like Caitlin Clark injuries, they were ready to come into after their first season. They were ready to come in. When I
Right.
thought they were ready, and they came in and look at them now. They're dominating. They're one of the best 2 rookies who is best at triple doubles and 3-point percentage and scoring. Literally the best 2 rookies we've seen so far in the WNBA.
Yeah,
Literally,
Angel Reese, she not so much scoring. She does score, but her her clip is the rebounding. So she averaging almost a double double.
right. And that's every single game. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
like the thing is, what we witnessed so far is like we've never really seen any player,
Mm-mm.
that does very good at rebounding besides what
Nobody.
we've seen, huh?
There's nobody that we see rebounding like that.
No, not ever. We never seen that.
Right. Right. And I applaud Angel Reese because she has found a way to stay relevant and
Right,
something that was forgotten. Remember how we were saying that how come the current players at the NBA level, whether it's WNBA or NBA, there's no that the art of the mid range is gone. So that means that when somebody start to do that, they're going to be the talk.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So I give Angel Reese all the props in the world because she said, "Hey, I can't go compete with Caitlin Clark shooting at 28 feet." She got that. No problem. Let me go find another play to be relevant where it counts. Because whenever they fucking miss, who there that you need to clean that up? That will be me, Miss Reese. Thank you. I do that at a high level and I pay and then now she crafted her game to say, hey, I'm gonna go after a place that nobody has been focusing on that's relevant to the game.
right.
Just like right now. It's another thing that nobody who and Aramis, you know what? I've watched you play basketball, and your strength to me is defense. You're a hell of a
Oh, did he cut out again? Yeah, yeah, he does got a great point right there. As far as for me, like he has watching, and those who don't know that um, I did used to play basketball back in like when I was younger, and for one thing, when I first started playing ball, it was strictly offense for me, strictly offense, only because I couldn't understand defense that very well, but the amount of people I have played against and the amount of people who knew basketball more than I do had to like let me know that there's more than just offense. There's always gonna be defense. Defense is mainly the key for you winning the game. So it doesn't matter how good you do on offense. It's just it matters if you want to win that game. That defense got to be on point. So
Mhm.
I've always been so glued to defense, and then how I play defense is I read the body language and I read, like I read, the movement of how you move the ball. So if I know you're gonna go left, my body position is gonna be towards coming your left. So you're gonna have to go right. Like I try to maneuver around to to make you on offense feel uncomfortable on how you take the ball up.
Mhm.
So, but with certain NBA players, their defense is on a higher, much level than mine, and they play at a much better way than any other player who plays defense. So
Right.
it's so not like, but we'll go back to what you were talking about. So you go ahead.
No, no, no. You good? I was just saying that that I commend Angel Reese because at the end of the day, you can't have 100 Caitlin Clarks. You can't have 100 Steph Currys.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's other parts of it. So right now, I commend Angel Reese because she has found in her young career a way to be relevant and affect the stats. And she used it and rebounding is a category that's off the chart because rebounding means I'm not playing defense or I'm not playing offense. Because I can do this on the defensive end or I can do this on the offensive end. So it's kind of a real niche about rebounding. An important stat because then somebody say, well, how many offensive rebounds do you have? How many defensive rebounds you have? Now they got to break it down on both sides of the court. So this is a stat where you can get on both sides of the court. And it's another one that I think that when somebody really focusing on the defense and really hone into it, and then somebody start really focusing on this one skill set that's going to be a game changer, steals. When the last time you heard somebody say I had 10 steals a game?
No one. I don't think I ever see anybody who can average more than 10 steals.
That'll be a good question to see because the last person that I know, and I'm going old school and new school, and I don't know some of this school, the last person that I know that I can remember, old and new, and Michael Jordan was a great defender too, but there was one person called Sean Payton, the glove, played for Seattle.
I heard about him.
The glove, listen, the glove averaged about 7 steals a game.
Mm.
7. And they called the man the glove. Now, you know what a glove is. That's how he was on a person. Full court,
No, that's crazy.
the glove. So, again, when we find another player in this new generation who is really about skill set, that's another area where somebody could come in and look to say, hey, I'm like you said, Aramis, I was this way, and then I started understanding the game, and I knew that, based on my skill set and what I can do, I can contribute at an abundance in this area of defense. Some people say, hey, I'm not a great defender. I can be a Caitlin Clark, and I can come at 28 feet, point whatever, and let it go.
Right.
Everybody got their niches. But what I will tell you, if you go look up my man Gary Payton, the glove, whenever the next person come out, and I commend Angel Reese because Angel Reese has found rebounding, and the last person that we all heard of who took advantage of that stat at a high rate and was world famous was Dennis
Dennis
Rodman.
Rodman. Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
So mark my word, the Caitlin Clark, Steph Curry's is about to come out, which is going to change the game. And then you got a person like Angel Reese who's saying, "Okay, y'all go do all that, because when you miss, I got you.
Yep.
I got you." Listen, she got Angel Reese so dangerous. She's the first player in NBA or WNBA who had 3 rebound games in a row. 3. Now, when you heard of that, a person getting 20 rebounds in a game, let alone 3 in a row.
Bro, 20 rebounds in a game is like you gotta consistently be in that paint 100% of the time, consistently grabbing boards back to back without even making a mistake.
Right, and she's 6'2", 6'3",
That's what
6'2",
I'm saying.
6'3".
A 6'2" center grabbing boards over a tall defender, bro. That's crazy.
Listen, she grabbed 20 boards on motherfucking Brittany Griner, 6'10".
Brittany,
20 and dropped 12.
Yeah,
She went
Brittany Griner
20.
can play
She went
defense,
14
but
and 20 on Brittany Griner.
that just shows you that Brittany Griner can't grab rebounds.
No. Brittany Griner averaged 9 point something rebounds a game. She almost right at double too. But you know what's the difference?
Mm.
Footwork. And remember what you said, skill set. You think Angel Reese just a gazelle to jumping out the gym? No, she ain't just, she came dunk. She dunked one time, I think. But you know what it is? Box out. She's always, she watched the ball. She knows angles. She sees the ball. She can see the ball in the air and say, oh, it's going to come short. Oh, it's going to take a long bounce. So she studies the game where people not paying attention to. Most people, when that rebound come, they wait till the ball hit the ground or bounces off the rim going in a certain direction. She's already one ahead of that and seeing when the ball leave. You ever see when somebody shoot an air ball, you can know because the ball looks short.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, I'm not waiting for the ball to hit. You remember what the coach will tell you, when the ball's in the air, find somebody to box out. Position yourself for the rebound. So Angel has dedicated a lot of her career to saying, hey, I'm doing the film study, i.e., kudos to the new generational kids because they're more skilled. She studied the film to say, hey, I want to understand the angles, trajectory, and then I know how to position and move my feet for positioning because I can know where that ball is going to come off at.
Right.
And that's a skill set, bro. Because just think about how many rebounds. Last time you played the game, how many rebounds did you get?
Last time I played a game,
Yeah, just in general.
probably say 5.
Okay, and that's good. 5.
5
Here's a
rebounds.
girl getting 20. And probably out of them 5, 3, 2 of them just happen to bounce your way.
Yeah, or not. I had to fight to get to the other side to get the ball. Like
Right.
you
So
gotta
so
find
so
ways
just think
to.
about it. Maybe 2 or 3 of you had to fight for, maybe 2 of them just fell to you. And
Yeah.
just think she down there every battling 20 rebounds and she don't give a fuck if it's come to me or I have to go get it. I'm gonna figure it. I understand how it's gonna happen.
Right.
That's amazing. And I give her all the
Yeah.
props in the world because that's she is relevant to a position, and I call it this die. That rebounding position was died off. That's why we have to go so far back as a Dennis Rodman. And you understand why do I have to do that? Because at the end of the day, everybody's so focused on the limelight positions. Everybody want to be the king Steph Curry, or they want to be, now they want to be the new Caitlin Clark, but nobody want to go and do the dirty work. And the dirty work pay the bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That rebounder gonna pay the bills. Because at the end of the day, if you had to draft a team, you picking Angel Reese. If nothing more to say, I gotta have some who's getting my rebounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you pick her? Because right now she the best in the business.
Yeah. Because
I don't
I
even think
mean,
no NBA
right,
players.
right.
What NBA player got 3 20s in a row this year?
Nobody.
3 rebound games in a row?
3 20 rebounds in the game. I've never seen an NBA player in today's game have a 320 rebounds per game. You got to be ridiculously
In a
like
row.
in a row. Like you literally have to literally maneuver around and literally be careful when you're grabbing the board. We haven't seen an NBA player get at least 10
Yeah.
boards.
Bruh, her last game, she had 16 and 23.
Way much better than our centers out here, bro. Like, but
That's crazy. I mean, that's just crazy. So my thing is, could you imagine the kind of hustle that she has to be positioning herself in on daily in a game to even have the outcome, to have the
bro,
opportunity to get them kind of rebounds?
bro, the thing is, the girl is practicing these things on a daily. She's literally practicing to grab boards and score at another competitive level, and she's using this in the game.
In the game.
The
But
reason
listen,
why she's getting so many of these rebounds is because she's working on it consistently every single day, because that's what she's good at.
and then somebody had the nerve to say in one of the because we always look at other people podcasts and people, somebody said, "Oh, Angel Reese is trash because she purposely shoots and misses because she can't shoot, but she gets her own rebound to pad her stats." And then my question was, well, where the fuck was the defense at that then? That they're just gonna let her shoot a ball up to the NBA official rim size, 10 feet tall, let the ball come back, let her get it, and shoot again, and let her get it again, and I'm watching her. That ain't what's
Yo,
happening.
yo, send me the link to that because I want to watch that, bro. Send me the link to that because really, to be honest, if you're the only person there grabbing the board, if you miss your shot and you're grabbing your own rebound, and there's no other defender there,
That's stat padding.
that's
But
stat padding. Really, if you're
no, but
literally
listen,
the
no,
only
but
one
listen,
grabbing the
Aramis,
board.
if there's nobody at the rim, you shoot the ball, you miss on purpose, grab your rebound. That's almost, you could say, stat padding. That even if you could say I really missed, but if you do it 2 or 3 times, that's stat padding. But that's
Okay,
not her
yeah.
case. There is a defender standing 1 foot from the basket, just like you, or 2 feet from the basket, and you're jumping over her or boxing her out over her, getting a shot off that wasn't blocked, moving around her again, and grabbing the ball again and put it back up without it getting blocked. How is that stat padding? If nothing else, it's great feet work. It's unfortunate you missed your ball, but you still outmaneuvered a professional basketball player to get your own rebound. Now, just think about you, Amos. How many times have you drove to the hole or been in the, we talking in the paint now, in the paint with bigger players and got your rebound 2 or 3 times and put the shot back up?
Oh,
How often does that
I
happen?
have plenty of times. I probably say the amount of times that I've done that before in total, I'll have to say six.
And that's
Six
six
in total.
that you can
I've done
remember.
that a few times.
This girl does it day in and day out. This is what she do for breakfast
He does that every single day. Practice every night, every
every
day.
day. Every day. You just said I can recall in my career 6 times vividly in my mind, and this girl says, "Oh, I do that every day, all day."
Cause that's like literally, if you already doing that, work on that. Like literally work on that, improve it. And
Yeah,
and you're literally getting 20 rebounds, 16, 23, 20 per game.
bro.
Literally.
I challenge you, and I know that you. I ain't gonna say that you ain't a big NBA, one WNBA player, but I promise you, if you haven't been watching as much, go Google or go to YouTube and do Angel Reese highlights getting 20 rebounds. And you use when I tell you, bro, It ain't like no little bullshit where she just throw it up and I bounce it to myself, throw it up and bounce it to myself. No, she jumping. She ain't out jumping nobody. But what she doing, bro? She putting her ass, hip, leg, moving around, spinning, boxing out, doing all of these things, all looking crazy like a samurai warrior, but grabbing rebounds.
That's crazy, man.
Grabbing rebound. And the sad thing is, she the most deadly. She got one other player on her team that's deadly. And when they get some help, because what I really think is going to happen, and I hope to happen, I hope to happen, they fuck around and grab Juju. It's over.
If Chicago Sky grabs Juju, the WNBA is in trouble, bro.
They're in trouble, bro, because listen, you got Angel Reese, and then you got Cardoza. Now Cardoza's 6'9", like a grinder, and she starting to get double doubles. She already got about 8 double doubles.
Two two generational good centers, and you
Two
got a point
centers.
guard. You got a
Yes.
point
Now,
guard who is Juju Watkins,
bro, if they
immediately
get Juju,
unguardable,
oh my God.
unguardable,
Okay.
bro.
Off the chain. Because that means anything y'all throw up and miss, no problem.
Right, right.
No problem.
That's
So if that happens, stand by. If Juju go to the sky, it's a problem.
right.
Crazy. But now my thing is getting back to and kudos to the WNBA players. I'm not want to be riding them, but I'm just talking because right now the WNBA is at a high point and the season is going on right now. So it's really, for our fans who watching today, if you haven't tuned into no WNBA games, please go watch them because the skill set and for some of our young players out here, yes, we love Steph Curry, LeBron James, and all, but you got to remember some of these people are just freak athletes, like LeBron. He's just a freak athlete. Like you have to be born with that. Some of
Right.
our players aren't born. I unfortunately wasn't born a freak athlete. Aaron, you probably wasn't born a freak athlete, but
No, I really wasn't. I had to do a lot of training and practice
yeah,
and
work on it. Yeah,
workouts. But
exactly.
yeah,
So what I will tell you people is that if you're not a great freak athlete, then what you next thing you have to do that will help you the most is you have to be a gym rat. LeBron, Kobe. That's
MJ.
what you got to do day in and day out and study your craft, film studies. So this is why I said that the new generational player is way ahead of the old ones because now, it's more information and more technology where people can hone in on their craft and build things. So that's why I said that you have a player like Angel Reese who somebody sat her down and was like, listen, you're not a Caitlin Clark or Steph Curry, but we will train and teach you so you can take advantage of an area that will keep you employed and make you dangerous because nobody focuses on in this area, which is rebound. Because just think about it, even the NBA, who focuses on rebounds?
No one does.
Yeah, but that's vital. Just thinking,
Mhm.
if you rebound the ball, bro, if I shoot the ball up there, and let's just think about it. Let's say it's 3 minutes in the game, and how long is the shot clock? 24 seconds.
24 seconds.
So how many? So with 3 minutes left in a game, how many possessions is that? 9.
So it's like
So
you got to have
24
a
divided
decent
into three
amount
minutes is like
of
9 possessions, right?
yeah, because you got to have a decent amount of good possessions in a matter of 24 seconds.
Right, right. So
Because
let's say that. Let's show you how important it is to rebound for our people who want to put this in perspective. If it's 3 minutes in a game and I run the shot clock down to 23 seconds and shoot the ball, now it's what 2 minutes and what no, it's 2 minutes and what 40 something seconds left, and you shoot that ball, and I get the rebound, Angel Reese, kick it back out. Now we run another 23 seconds out. So literally, if you have a person who can rebound the ball, and if you can actually probably do this. So imagine you have a player, Angel Reese, who grabbing everything. With 3 minutes left in the go, she can grab 9 boards and you win the game. And you never even lost a possession because every time you grab a board, your clock resets.
it does reset because
If
once
she
that
kicks
shot
it
is
back out,
off, Right,
She
because
grabbed the ball, kick it back out, reset. Grab the ball, another rebound off of a miss, and kick it back out, and it resets. So with a player of that tremendous capability, it puts you in a position where you can do that.
right.
Now just think about it. Somebody shoot and you say, "Oh my God, get the rebound. We need a rebound," and you know you got a dog down there. She gonna get it. That's amazing because now I can say, "Hey, I'm cool with we don't have to rush because it's 3 minutes to go, and I know I got two gorillas down there that's gonna grab the rebound 98% of the time." As a coach, you love that.
Right.
Crazy, crazy. But yeah, I challenge you, bro. Go look at some of her highlights. I definitely hope that they don't rob her and they make her. And I don't think she should get Rookie of the Year by herself. I think that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should get co MVP.
If that's even possible, because we never seen a
It
two.
happened in the NBA once before. Jason Kidd had it and somebody else had it co MVP for rookie. Look it up. Jason Kidd, back in the day, who's a coach now for what you call it. I think now he's Dallas coach. Jason Kidd, right? Jason Kidd, Dallas coach. Yeah, Jason Kidd is. He had when he was a rookie, he had co MVP. That's the last time I remember anybody getting co MVP as a rookie.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, but I'm saying as of right now, I don't think that would
Yeah, that's
happen.
never happened. And look how far I
Yeah,
had to go back to even say that. I had to go way back into the '90s to get that.
that's what I'm saying. Like before, that was the thing where like you can have a co-op, you have two, but as of right now, no, I don't think they're gonna do that.
Well, I mean, you can still
I
have
ex-
to.
right, you can, and I hope they do because you got two players, and they are rookies. Like you
Who
see
you
how
get?
they are.
Who
Like
you?
they deserve rookie of the
So,
year. They,
so Aramis, who is your vote for WNBA Rookie of the Year?
I love Caitlin Clark, but I'm gonna have to go with Ezra Reese on this one, man. Just because of how her game is and just seeing how she plays it. And like it's like I love her play style. Focus on defense more than offense, and that's always been me.
Yep.
I'm I'm a defensive player, so if I see somebody who is a talented on defense, I'm gonna be like, yo, I like this player a lot better than shooting
Mm-hmm.
because shooting is cool, but Angel Reese does have a shooting bag from the mid, but
She's been working on it.
her game relies on defense,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I like Angel Reese a lot more better than Caitlin Clark.
And by the way, speaking of defense, she does average 3 or 4 blocks a game too. Just thought I
See,
throw that in there.
there you go, bro.
I just thought I did throw that in there. Not
Literally,
one, three. She averaged like almost 4 blocks a game.
yeah, that's crazy,
And,
man.
and 2 steals. I think she averaging 1.9 steals a game. She averaged almost 4 point some blocks a game. Plus, she's averaging about 14 rebounds per game, averaging 14 a game. And
Yeah,
averaging,
that's
I think she
insane.
averaging 13, 12, 13 points a game is her average. She's averaging a double double. But yeah, so my vote would be I would say I love Angel Reese. I love that she putting the energy into areas that's been neglected. Defense wins championships and all that. And I love everything about her. And she's pretty girl. She to me it's like she don't look like Godzilla. Here you have a beautiful woman who can go fucking set it off, put on her dress and some high heel shoes and be a runway model with nails and all that and still go on the NBA court and say, "Don't get it twisted, I will bust your ass."
Nah,
She
for
don't
real.
look like a Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? She's a fine, pretty ass woman who can go in here and put her hard hat on and go to work. So I love that about her. But Caitlin Clark is something else too. Like when I try to tell you generational player, Caitlin Clark is a product of the new generational player. And what did you say? How did you coin it, Aramis? Beyond the arc.
Beyond the art.
And not only beyond the arc, which is a skill set. Because now remember, this ain't luck. She's doing the
Mm-hmm.
skill now. Steph Curry.
This is
Don't
a skill
remember
set
I told you
now.
before
Right.
when
Yeah.
a player shot at half court or a little bit half court, what we used to say that's luck. Now you can't say that so much. It's skill. They've been practicing it. So Caitlin Clark is beyond the arc. And the other thing that I give her credit for is because, and I attribute this to her coach. You remember they was giving her coach, the white girl, I forget the white girl name, who's her coach at Indiana Fever, coach. The coach rolled her ass to say, I don't give a fuck about you shooting. You playing the one, and I need you to be able to get the team involved. You're still going to get your shots, and we need your shots, but you can only have that shot, and you playing the one, and we win. And you know what happened since then? They lost. They lost. I think the first game they won 3 out of 10, and everybody
Yeah,
was
they
like, "Oh,
did.
fire the coach." Look it up. They were saying fire the coach. They teaching her. They taking Caitlin Clark away from her game. Let her be who she is and all that. And you know what? You know what? Angel, what I give credit to Caitlin Clark to say that I know she the truth. Yes, you can shoot, but when the coach challenged her that, you know what happened now? She averaged a fucking 10 assists a game from that point on. So Caitlin Clark averages damn near a double double. Hers is an assist in points. So
Yeah.
with that being said, look the stats up. I think that they should be co.
Yeah.
Because at the end of
Like,
the day, both of them two rookies has put fire to the WNBA. So I think that why would you short one and not the other when both of them is making a noise at a high level?
right.
So, you know, I love Angel Reese, beautiful woman, and she definitely put her hard hat on and go to work. But I definitely don't take away from what Caitlin has done too.
Yeah,
And you know, like,
I definitely don't. But it's just, but like coming from me, from a, like I definitely would want that type of player on my team. As far as when it's coming down to the last quarter of the game and it's 24 seconds on the clock. If I miss a shot, she's gonna grab and dish it back out to me, or I could dish it to another player,
yeah,
and hopefully they make it. But like, don't get me wrong. Like, imagine Caitlin Clark and Andrew Reese on the same team.
bro, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It doesn't matter if it's Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark over it's Angel Reese or Juju Watkins. One of those two point guards are gonna dominate with Angel Reese.
Right. And my case in point to what you just said, if Juju had to pick a person to go to, if Juju had to pick a person to team, she not gonna fucking go to she not gonna go to play with Indiana.
Yeah, she's not gonna. Yeah, she's gonna go to Chicago.
She gonna go to Chicago. I mean, you know,
Yep.
if she had a choice. And then at the
Yeah,
end of the day, the Fever wouldn't even draft Juju. Why? Why would you draft Juju when you got Caitlin Clark?
that is true. I don't know why would you even draft that. See, this is what I mean about drafting. Like, you got to be careful who you draft.
Yes.
Because if you know you got Cam Clark, who's one of the best shooters you have in
No, the
this,
best shooters in the world. In
and
the world.
right. Hold on. Like you said, in the world, why would you want to get another point guard? And she's barely gonna have any minutes because you know why? Cam Clark is your girl. But you want to put Juju on a team where she can shine her way,
Yes. Where it's needed.
where it's
I.e.
needed.
Chicago. I.e. Chicago. We
Definitely
need
go to
you.
Chicago. I hope she goes to Chicago because with that being said, like if you put her on a team where she can shine and do it her own way, plus she has a center who can rebound every
Two.
single time.
Two.
Why would you not go to Chicago? Why not draft her? So it's like I don't know,
Yeah.
but look, it's 5:26. We can finish this up next Saturday at 2:30. So
2:30.
so let me go ahead and get this music going. All right. So look, if you hear the music, you already know it is time to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining in. and watching us talk about basketball, WNBA basketball, talk about anything regarding to sports. Remind you, there's no criticism going on in the show. It's all about the truth. Anything is strictly about the truth, nothing else at all. But guys, stay tuned to next Saturday because I do have something interesting to bring up. I was gonna bring up in today's episode, but we ran out of time because today was a really good one. I'm gonna be honest. Coming from my co-host, he has lots of stuff to say. I had lots of stuff to say. It was really good. But
Man, we can't wait to be back next week. Let's get
yeah,
it.
man, I can't wait. Hopefully we can get our other
Ramirez, we're
co-host
gonna get
on here.
Ramirez on next week. We get
Yeah,
Ramirez on next week.
we'll get all three of us on here and then we'll chat it up. But
Yes, sir.
with that being said, this is the Basketball for Knowledge. I'm your co-host Aramis,
Ray Downs in the building.
and we'll see you guys next Saturday at 2:30.
All right,
Peace.
we out. Peace.
All right, one.
One.